Okay, so welcome to session number 131 for Phase 3, Season 2, Episode 23. It is the second day of the 7th month of the year 1011. Fairly similar to where the others are, give or take about a month.
Caught up.
After spending a month in the Dragon Water Academy.
Yeah.
It does help. Online today we have Ross.
Yes, I play the lovable, swashbuckling halfling Yodri, who's just been on a bender and can't remember what's happened for the last 3 weeks.
Well, hey, I'm sure it won't actually be all bad. Because, hey...
last time I did something like that, I stole an airship and decimated some... Well, caused the death of a couple of townships, I believe.
Well, it was just a, relief shipment with medical supplies, food stuff, and clothing for the winter and all that sort of stuff.
Wasn't that where you got your punishment that you couldn't drink anymore?
Yep.
Yep.
And hey, if he's gone out on a bender, who knows what he's
I was about to
this
say,
time.
they probably did the right thing then.
Yes, I think I had found a magical pipe and I've been using it.
Install a breathalyzer onto your airships.
Hey, they may just require anyone who starts it up to expend a year of their life. And if they don't know what they're doing, it shuts down within 5 minutes, then they've got to do it again and again.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the table today we have M.
Hello! I play Zal, the ever-lovable cleric wizard.
Hey, old ranger. It's better in person.
It's so not better in person. It's so
louder and more, have bigger effect when it's not in person.
Well, the mic sometimes breaks up when it's online, so...
I don't want to yell at the table though.
Break the recording.
Yeah.
Yes, I have my menagerie of animals. My
We
horse.
haven't killed anyone recently.
Should I be worried about that? I probably should be worried about that.
Have you fed them
You should definitely be worried about that.
Have you given them any psychotics lately?
Then you also stable them. You don't let anyone else stable them. You haven't done so since they ate the last stable hand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're becoming a true pet owner. My goodness.
I know, I'm actually taking
I
responsibility.
can't call you a failed pet owner.
Still call me a failed ranger though.
Perfect.
Even though literally I killed like half of the mobs with arrows like 10 sessions ago.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You didn't kill that roper with an arrow though.
Anyway,
This is making me feel glad my husband isn't here.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure the only one I have with me at the moment is Chocobo because we were in the desert, and he's good with desert travel, whereas Artemis and Atlas are not so much, being my horse.
Chocobo's good being anywhere with you. He's more than happy to find ways to kill people.
Sure it is.
Especially because he loves civilization and the fact that no one in the outcast looks up.
Yeah.
And I'm sure finding a murderous bird looking down at you is going to be a shock for most people. But hey, it only wants the left leg.
Yeah, I know.
So in your bag of holding, how many left legs do you have?
That's the thing, I don't.
You return them to the...
No, there's just a trail of left legs that in like thousands of years someone will trace the path of this left-legged serial killer.
It's a cold case at the moment.
Like you come across this thing and there's that going, who the hell lost their leg? And when what's in this desert?
Quickly finding out it's becoming an MO.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the Mystara police after me.
Well, there's a paladin order that chases down
necromancers. Yes.
Well, there you go. I'm not a necromancer though. Speaking of necromancers, killers at least.
You're not a necromancer? I thought that was one of your classes.
Yeah, I thought you were. Come.
I may or may not dabble.
This is on my secret strat.
I'm sorry. Let me just whack Chauvel with my book.
Which brings us to Josh.
Hello, I'm Josh. I play Chauvel, the Paladin.
I think he left out a few A's.
I think it's a visual effect.
Yeah.
Speech bubble.
Yeah, speech bubbles, yes.
For so long,
Right.
every time anyone looked at him, they got smacked in the head with
Paladin. From miles away.
All they had to do was see his
Armor.
coat, his vestments.
Yep.
Which he never told anyone was the thing causing it.
Why we
I
covered him in
just
blankets.
screamed Paladin in everyone's face and I enjoyed it.
Or we covered him with blankets. Or her with blankets. Whoops.
So Val is a fire genasi, so basically a fiery tempered lady. However, very lately has been fought over by two gods.
Well, one god isn't fighting.
Well, one god isn't
hasn't
fighting.
even noticed you yet that you've left.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. Especially, I'm pretty sure I was an archangel of his at one point in time. He'll do like roll call and then go, hang on a second. So at the moment, I can't remember who I'm with at the moment.
Lady Sif.
Lady Sith, that's
Or Madarura.
that's right. So I've got very dark wings at the moment.
Who's one of the gods who is in the group of going by God?
Yeah, by God, yeah.
Just not Gorm itself.
Back on.
And you'd be surprised I did that for about half a session and I got the players to start doing it without them even realising it.
Be quiet, ape. So yes, I had lost my very fiery wings and now I've got basically very black wings of death, which is cool.
Which you don't seem to be fully in control of yet.
Not yet. Soon.
Maybe they're a gift from me.
I'm very confused at the moment.
Also at the table today we have is Gary.
Hi everyone, I'm playing Anton Chigur, a Tralladaran warlock.
Totally not the Death Knight.
Totally not a Death Knight. That is a scandalous allegation, which is completely and utterly untrue.
So you're totally...
Was confused about gods and deities.
Listen,
and
if
that.
we're gonna-
Now has clarity on the issue, but doesn't welcome that
We're
clarity.
going to spread any more fake news around. We're going to throw some tariffs out and we're going to...
And then watch everyone complain about how they have to pay more because they've tariffed them. Shouldn't the other people have to pay?
Aren't you still confused because you still don't know who your true patron is, or is your patron the...
I don't have a patron, I have a master, and I've learned my master is a demon lord, and I did not realise that, but it does explain a few things. I'm also accompanied by Proshka, who is not so bound.
Oh yeah, no.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, and
Not scary at all.
Oh, Hank.
and I'm not lovable like everyone else because I've got scales and scars that make me anything but lovable.
I'm sure Orcus loves you as you are.
I'm not going to name my master, but I doubt that he loves anyone.
Oh, he loves
He
chaos
loves
and destruction you cause everywhere you go.
Okay. He loves things like chaos and destruction. Doesn't love individuals.
And he loves how good you've been at killing rooms full of people.
Yes.
Yeah,
I have a
I'm
lot of
really
blood,
glad I
have a
didn't
lot
bring
of blood on
Hildren
my
tonight.
hands.
And very soon he's going to love how you convert people over to him.
I don't know if it's going to be a conversion.
Yeah, very glad I didn't bring my cleric ranger, who's a follower of Zerchev tonight.
I'm not a by choice servant.
Who
Okay.
Cheval
Hi.
killed her cousin.
I am the absolute best role model.
Okay.
So it's now Chauvel has killed 2 characters' relatives.
Okay, so
cool.
you got,
New name?
you got it in for a certain family.
Well, he hasn't really
different
quite gotten
families,
someone
different
else's
families.
yet, as far as I know.
Killed
Dude,
parents,
it's
killed
just
cousins, different families.
The
Similar
Vikings
theme though.
that were imploded.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
My
yes.
cousin.
Okay.
I got a note saying that, which Chauvel doesn't know yet, is they have been killed and their souls consumed.
Yeah, yeah we actually saw that. It was
Disintegrated.
yeah.
Squished into a ball.
So I got a note saying my cousin's dead. She doesn't necessarily know who did it yet. But it's in the back of her mind.
No, that was the other town that got disintegrated with a supernova. And then everyone's got melted into an unrecognizable pile of
Well,
something.
it did have a permanent cloud cover, so no one had seen the sun
Yep,
for
that was
like,
pretty cool.
100 years. And now they've got a day where the sun comes through every year.
And it burns them every time.
Which is quite funny because that's also the region where the vampires are currently quarreling. So if they don't plan their days properly, they may be outside when the sun comes out.
Good. I mean, maybe not good.
No, good. Vampires
Well,
are bad.
no, because my uncle's a vamp, and my great uncle's is a vamp as well, and I'm pretty sure Dracula is my granddaddy as well. So
Vamps
you know,
are bad and the same thing with necromancers.
And hey, at least you know he can't be killed by sunlight.
yes, great.
We are connected in multiple ways. Well, different characters, but yes. He likes doing that.
Before we get to the new player, we'll have Ariadna introduce herself.
Hello. I am an innocent-looking child dragon who doesn't do anyone harm. I've got nothing to do with the Queen of Darkness. I don't have platinum, silver scales. I'm not a metallic dragon. And I don't have 3 out of the 5 elements I need to take over the world.
At least you only have 1 head instead of 3.
Yeah, no, I don't want to get to 5 heads. Mum.
Just think one Calcrix
looks-
head is hard enough.
It looks good on Mum, but can you imagine Calprix with more than 1 head?
Each would have them in a separate conversation with you at the same time.
Yes. Each trying to
Chorus.
get in their information, their facts,
you-
their helpful hints, offers of coffee.
Are you running along the same lines as Endgame? Trying to collect all 5 Infinity Stones? And
To be absolutely honest as a player, yes.
Yeah, so if Calcrix had 5 heads, Calcrix would be consuming 5 cups of coffee at a time.
I'm sure she would be.
Still
No.
better than Dimitri.
No. The problem for Calcrix would be 5 heads, 2 hands still.
I really need to join in, like, is that the
Magic.
Wednesday game? Yeah, I really need to join in a Wednesday one day, because I've heard so much about Dimitri.
Yeah.
He and I are butting heads at the moment.
I've come
So
very close.
imagine his previous Pathfinder character,
Yep.
but pedantic.
Yeah.
To the point that it made that character feel like he
Yeah.
was very relaxed and calm.
As I said, he and I are butting heads at the moment. Not quite as much as me and the druid at the moment.
So otherwise known as Calcrix, the white dragon. Am I technically a white dragon?
You're silver
still?
now,
still a
Even
white
though I'm
dragon.
silver with black and blue.
Well, you start off as the white dragon, and so it's like
technically-
if you're a half race, you always talk about the first race.
So technically she's still the white dragon with the jazz wings. And
So technically, I didn't introduce you wrong the other day.
No. White dragon, jazz wings. Yeah, no, she's all good. And she comes along with her companion E, who looks like a little harmless carnivorous plant, but is actually a creature of the Fey Dark who's quite willing to eat you, particularly if you are also a member of the Fey anything, and particularly if you're a dragon. which makes it interesting that we are friends.
Well, he eats fairy dragons, not
Okay, so
other
just
dragons.
fairy dragons.
That's his
not-
favourite meal.
Okay, alright.
Mainly because most fairy dragons are not particularly bright.
I see. Would eat other dragons if they were less bright?
Possibly.
Okay, so it's a matter of how
What's the
survivable it would be.
The threshold is how much they annoy you.
Okay.
Oh,
Coffee doesn't
okay.
annoy you. Okay.
Okay.
They seem to get on fine.
I'd be kind of, I don't want to, but I'd be kind of interested to see that fight. Eat get annoyed by some kind of dragon, and then Eat going, nope, I've had enough. I'd be curious, but I don't want to see the end of that because I don't want to see if it turns out bad. On that note, I'm just gonna finish getting snacks.
Okay, and also joining us today is Rhiannon.
Hi.
Ross has already been done.
Oh, cool.
So, at this point, all I will say is that I am playing Morrigan.
Okay, so does someone want to do the recap for last session? If they can remember. With some mind struggling going, we played last fortnight.
Yes. I can start us off and other people can
I
add
was
in.
gonna see if you can start us off. I'll go around to see if I have my hand.
We investigated the inn where we were staying and discovered there were some hidden rooms in the basement, and that that it served as a base for. This is where I'm getting a little bit confused. I think opponents of the council that rule Alphatia.
Well, I can give you the exact what it is. It was the various cults had been trying to break off from Alphatia for many thousands of years, and every now and then they'd set up there as a base until
That's
they
right.
did something stupid and got killed off.
Okay. I'd forgotten about the get something stupid and get killed off. There wasn't a lot of room there. It was like a room for about a dozen or so people. So there wasn't a big group there. And we also visited the local druids who brought back the sad end of a stable boy. Brought him back now as a dwarf.
So, I have quite a lot more notes
Go for it.
than you do. Aside from the fact that I only used one of my fortunate feats last session. I just completely threw myself off though, and I'm like, it wasn't last July. No, it was last session. It was the 2nd of the 7th, 10/11. And my brain saw the 2nd of the 7th and went, what month are we in right now? Right. So, one of the things up there is that Zal needs to find a better way to communicate with her father, Zal. Correct me if I've got if I have the wrong session, Martin, but we started off with heading downstairs in the middle of the night because Calcrix really wanted to look into a wizard's thing. And while Calcrix was trying to be quiet, Eep was going Eep every 5 seconds, which alerted Zal and Anton to the fact that someone was in the hallway.
That's right.
So fortunately I got adults to accompany downstairs.
There was a broom sweeping the floor.
Yes.
Until someone grabbed it.
This is an absolutely magic-laden place with just about everything else, like the tables will automate themselves to clean, the chairs will adapt themselves to be more comfortable to whoever's sitting in it, that kind of thing. There's soundproofing in the private rooms so that people can't listen in on you. We found that the place was shrouded in wards. Zal asked her dad Skull if there was anything special, and he pointed out a chest with a row of leather armour, and there was what was it? It ended up being that we found our way down into the secret room for the magic puzzle trapdoor.
Yep.
That was in one of the private dining rooms, and it turned out to be like a little sort of
It's like a panic room, safe house,
bunk room, barracks
something.
type cross of all these things.
Wards all over the inside of
For
the walls.
what looks to be various members of each of the 4 cults. At some time or another, but more particularly the Black Earth. And we discovered that people from different centuries over the last 1,500 years had been hiding out in various places, including this place, and they'd been keeping journals. And in that chest that Zal's dad's skull found, we found a bunch of journals that belonged to some of these people, and that gave us insight into all of these, the way Athalshia treated these people and how they considered them the oppressors, and how they've been trying to fight for their freedom.
What was the name of the like supreme cult or whatever it was?
I can't remember what I said it
I
was.
put the old guard.
The
Old
old
Guard,
guard,
that's
yeah,
it.
the old guard.
That's what they referred to them as.
Yeah, the old order actually.
Oh,
So they referred to them as the oppressors,
Oh, yeah, the
but
old-
they were officially known as the Old Order. And they were the people, the government, who compelled the Black Earth and the Howling, hatred, etc. to fight wars, whether or not they wanted to fight those wars. Until the Lady of Shadows bamfed them, for lack of a better word, into the Northern Reaches.
And she did that by assuming the symbol or power symbol of the old order,
yeah.
old guard.
Yeah, she used...
So she used their use their ability to command them. To command
to portal them away. So we originally thought that maybe the combined secret symbols of all the cults was actually like a good thing, but it turns out to be the thing that controls them.
So like it actually it has a
compulsion.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't resist it. So if someone knows that symbol and uses it, they have to do whatever
Do you need a new pen?
that's said.
Shouldn't.
I was going to say, someone's about to get out a bunch of pens and offer you a whole
It
bunch
looks
of
like
them.
it has heaps left, but it should be alright. This is probably because I haven't used it in a while.
Many of the journals suddenly stop, indicating that the current rebel group is wiped
It
out.
does run out.
Although they're now not here, they've.
Yep, they're all gone.
So they finally got out, just in the not anyone who read any of the journals you found.
Proshka followed our good friend, the mercenary Zert, overnight. Found some papers, which he ate, and then later at breakfast regurgitated in almost perfect condition, to show that Zert seems to be some kind of spy who's
agent.
monitoring people who might be interested in the four cults, and reports on a person who's going around each of the towns and asking. So he'll go to like an air town and then he'll ask about all the water cults, and then he'll go to like a water town and ask about the fire cults. And this person has covered their tracks really well. They can't track them down, or at least Zert in his reports is not giving away who it is.
He referred to the point that whatever name they use can't be tracked by magic and doesn't resolve into a person, which means he's put their names in there, whereas in his other reports he leaves the names out, simply because he says his reports showed that the people he was investigating had no crimes.
And the reports have that symbol on the top of all the pages.
Yes.
That's the symbol that
Yeah.
controls the cults.
So, Cowcrix has written in her journal, Zert, 50 big underlines under it, appears to be working for the oppressors, the Old Order, but Cowcrix has her suspicion that maybe Zert's a double agent. She's not entirely convinced.
I don't think he's smart enough to be a double agent.
Well, see, a good double agent would play stupid. So
And
that
a stupid double agent will make
underestimate
you think he's a double agent.
Cowcrix knows that she's very much thinks of herself as an adult, but she's always telling people, I'm only 12 years old, I don't know what I'm doing. Because if people keep thinking of her as a baby dragon, they'll underestimate her when it's time for her to protect her family. So at breakfast, Anton came downstairs and had a little chat to Zert. And
And we
Zert,
discovered that the sausages are really good.
yes, that's the important bit to take away. the bit that Morrigan, is it Morrigan?
Morrigan.
Will probably take away is that Zert was asking Anton about patrons and power and responsibility, and Anton said that his patron required no ties or responsibility. And,
I didn't exactly say that at all. He's interpreting it. He just wants power. He wants power without responsibility.
Well,
that's what he wants.
He seemed to lead you to believe that's what he wants. Calcrix has a different interpretation of the.
Well, he does things such as what do you have to do for the power he gives you, and your response was nothing.
Yeah. So based on your vague responses. He's very much led you down into a promise to introduce or put a good word in for him to good old August, which you're going to meet him back at the inn later tonight to do.
Yeah, I think I can give you another option. He wanted to become a warlock. He didn't specify anything more than that.
Yes.
Well, he wanted power without responsibility.
Exactly, he wanted power without responsibility. Like he's a fool.
Oh, most people want power. Well, they'll soon realise that there's always responsibility. Then Zal and Cheval came downstairs, and there were some druids having breakfast there, and we went over to get through the very uncomfortable, awkward conversation of one of our party killed your stable boy. Can you reincarnate him? Can we help? And they did indeed say that they could reincarnate him. They invited us along to observe the ritual. They reincarnated Bryn as a dwarf, and he's a beardless dwarf, which makes sense because in Alphasia all the dwarves are beardless. But he will also have lost, he doesn't get to experience any childhood. So he goes from being, I think it is a 10-year-old boy to teenage
Depends on what he
dwarf.
does now. He could experience childhood as an adult.
The druid has committed himself to raising.
That's right, yeah.
Raising Bryn and teaching him the druid craft in particular, because Bryn has a love of animals. He's going to teach him how to.
Which lead him to being consumed by the drake in the first place.
Yes. So in their mind, all the business with the stable boy being killed has been settled. Justice has been done. A dwarf caused harm, and a dwarf will now watch over their village. Anton asked about the master, and the druid said that it is said the master once studied in Alphasia or Homlet. It was made unclear.
Referred to Alphasia.
Yeah.
It's a large empire, which means it could have been in any number of kingdoms.
Yes, it wasn't. Yeah.
All of them.
He also explained that each cult has an avatar guardian that connects each cult to the Temple of Elemental Evil, which is the temple we are commissioned to find and disconnect, so that the cults can be finally free of this compulsion spell. Each grove of druids will have knowledge of each avatar location. So it looks like that we need to kind of go to each of these groves, and then each of us in our own element talk to the reciprocal druid grove, and then find out where the avatar is, and then we don't have to defeat them, we just have to persuade them to just not connect to the elemental being. And
Release the cults.
Yeah, that's right. And then the last note is Anton is still to meet Zert to discuss taking on Anton's patron.
You missed one other thing. I asked Proshka to take the documents back to Zert where he found them and start following Elmar.
I did skim a little bit.
And start to follow Elmar.
Yeah. So he's following.
Elmar's a wannabe mercenary, whereas Zert is a actual mercenary.
And for Rhiannon's notes, the lead druid was Jeru Ashstaff.
Yeah. And there's Brother Smythe.
Jeru, Jaroo, Ashstaff.
Cool.
And then his middle level was Brother Smythe. with a Y, no E. And then the youngest is just the pot boy, or pot boy. And Calcrick's christened him boy in Princess Bride manner. And at some point, Calcrick's will say, as you wish, because, you know, she just wants to. Given the opportunity. Oh, and for the record, the reincarnation cost Bradshaw 1,000 gold pieces of oils and ungans. That's a hard word to say.
It cost him the gold, but that's what they expended. So he didn't have the oils and ungans. He gave them the 1,000 gold.
Yeah. Just for record's sake.
Mainly because we know Bradshaw, he doesn't carry oils and ungans on him.
No, he does carry a lot of money though.
So I think that's everything without
That's
going
pretty
into
comprehensive.
absolute detail of everything.
You gave me 2/3 of a page, 3/4 of a page.
Yeah, that's from 4 pages of notes, so
Okay,
that's not
so-
too bad.
With the whole Druid celebration, they basically have meals and drinks in the inn to celebrate young Breen's new life.
Okay.
And though he's still only drinking apple juice because the town still considers him a child.
Doesn't look like one anymore.
Well, he doesn't look like one. He doesn't have a child's body, but he's still got the child mentality. So they're sort of a bit unsure about giving a child with the body of a man alcohol for the first time. So you're sure that it's more of a...
Breen, do you want a taste?
He'd probably say yes, but most of the rest of the town, village in the inn would say no.
Okay. Well, surreptitiously, if you want a taste, you can have a taste of my drink. Whatever it is I'm drinking, I don't know.
Mainly because that they have laws against giving underage drinks.
Oh, really? Medieval times, everyone drank.
Well, in this case, it's a nation where those who cast spells rule, and if you kill the brain cells of the children, then they can't cast spells.
Quick question, Gary. You take a dollop of milk in black tea, don't you?
Yes, please.
So they have groundings for why they don't let their kids indulge.
Okay.
And with most of that happening, it is a very rowdy night. Not much happening, not much chance to get out. Koshka's happy because he's constantly stalking someone.
Yep. I know it's rowdy and all the rest of it, but still keep eyes open, because the thing I'm worried about is that there's probably an agent or agents of the master here, and I don't think we've even found them, but I'm expecting them to be here.
Do we meet up with Zerd?
I'm not in a hurry to meet up with Zerd, but if he does appear, he appears. Thank you. Oh, you should ask me to go get it.
Okay, so with everything
I've got
that's
a feeling in my hands right now.
Oh, wow.
happening, most people are just so happy to celebrate and relax now that the incident of the last day is over. Death of a child is not a great thing for a village. And with the coming night, the druid warned everyone to be inside.
Why is that?
They say that anytime there's a resurrection, there's generally visitations in the night. And those deemed unworthy end up dead.
You're just tempting me here, but
Well, there's a price to pay for magic, they
yes,
say.
that's true. There is a price to pay for magic. Okay, I'll resist the temptation to spend the night outside.
Okay, so I will get each of you who's there, except for Rihanna at this stage, to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving.
Wisdom saving throw.
Should be good at this, right?
Has it got anything to do with undead or charm or anything like that?
I wouldn't say undead or charm, no.
Okay, just
Now,
a straight
who's
ordinary.
within 10 feet of Trevor?
Probably Zal.
Zal? Alright, so then Zal gets an extra +7.
+7. Okay.
Level 12 paladin.
Yeah.
And doesn't even have to believe in the same god to get it.
Mm. 10 plus 7?
I'm just wondering whether
28.
to do anything to improve the roll, but I won't. I'll just suck on the roll. Ooh, natural 20. Oh, that's fine.
It's always a good thing to roll.
Can't do better than that.
I always think a natural 1 is better than a natural 20. That's just my preference.
Yeah. Yep.
You like seeing the interesting outcomes that we
I didn't
create.
wear the shirt.
That we
I
create.
roll.
That
Are we
we
rolling for
create.
Calcrix?
That we create for
We will
upon
have
ourselves.
Calcrix roll. And Yodri, what did your character get?
What's our proficiency again?
The proficiency bonus is 4.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to update that then. So that should be not what that is. That should be,
I don't know if I've updated mine. Have I?
and then that should be
Yes.
that. Okay, I'll fix that. Cool. 27.
27. Okay, so same as Zal.
I got 28. One battle.
And what did Yodri get?
Yodri's still hungover. I got a 6.
Okay. So, Yodri, even though you're not sure exactly how you ended up with the others because you've got this shocking hangover, but you have this sensation of riding along and the jolting of being on some sort of horse.
Okay.
And you're sure it was important for some reason. And why you were there was intensely important. But the next thing you know, you're slumped against a inn of a door of an inn. And it's sunrise.
That was your Uber. That was your Uber there, I think.
Okay.
I've got to love my aura of protection.
And there is some strange looking rabbit with horns staring at you.
Isn't that... Well, that's a jackalope. Aren't they dangerous?
Oh, anything's dangerous that stares at you. Just ask him.
Okay. Doesn't have glowing red eyes.
No.
Okay, well that's a good thing.
It has stormy clouds lit by lightning eyes.
That's a bad thing.
Its fur is like like the color of black storm clouds, and its horns are like old bone.
Okay.
Right, I got a necrotic bunny rabbit.
It sort of looks at you.
Friend.
Okay.
And as you're looking, you get violently ill.
Way.
I'm rolling a dex save.
Well, it is
Throwing
he's
up
been
the
on
rainbow.
16. I think I could have enough with my dex, with a jackalope dex. That's...
So yes, it's like a river coming out.
I wrinkle my nose, pop back a few steps, turn in the other direction, sniff at the air, and bound upstairs?
Well, the door isn't open yet.
Oh, we're on the outside. I'm staring at the door. I stare at Yodri. I stare at the door. I stare at Yodri. I stare at the door.
And when I finish throwing up, I'm going to cast precipitation to clean myself up.
Okay. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution. This is going well.
Still got an annoying headache. That's 10.
Okay, so you believe you cast your precipitation. So next thing you know, you're burping large bubbles that are coloured and floating away. Something went wrong. And as they pop, it's more liquid dropping wherever it pops.
Can I make a medicine roll on you?
We're not even there.
No, we're safely inside
Twitch.
we're safely inside the inn.
We're asleep.
Jackalope's head turns to the side. Its ears twitch, and it just sort of looks like, as much as it can, like an raised eyebrow and a disapproving look.
Okay, so you guys are working on
Maybe the rabbit's a figment of my imagination.
Do you say that aloud?
Yeah.
Okay. Bounds around the sick and pokes him with its horns.
The horns are sharp,
Now,
and inside the paladin is requested by the innkeeper
yep.
with a nice banging on the door.
Quick, sweet.
And he says there seems to be a horrific halfling outside who's throwing up everywhere.
Way, alright.
Zal will come out to help too.
Don't let him in.
Cheval will march downstairs and just see.
Okay, so it is just on dawn. So you're expecting to sleep in for a little bit today, considering you're still in a bed.
Yep.
And people were up past midnight the night before.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yes, opening the door, sitting on the step is one Yodri. Plus so much liquid in the space that you think there's been at least 10 people who have thrown up in the area.
You don't look well,
Can
Audrey.
I do a medicine roll on Yodri to see
Sure.
how intoxicated he is?
I've backed off.
Nat 20, so 25.
Looking at Yodri, he is the most wear-suit you've ever seen. This reminds you of the story about when he stole an airship?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't heal poor life choices.
Am I up at
Kind
this
of.
point?
You can. You could do a medicine
Well,
roll.
you got
could
woken
make
up
him
You
during
got
your
nat
same
20 on
round.
medicine.
I mean, I could
You
lesser
probably
restoration
could-
him, but I'm not wasting a second level spell on poor life choices.
Yeah. That's the more accurate.
I will help poor Yodri out.
Mhm.
Less restoration. The poor.
Sarah, can I swap you with a light blanket sort of
Does that,
blanket?
what does that
Yeah.
get rid
It's
of?
a lighter
I
blanket.
was about to say, it doesn't do anything for a
Oh,
hangover.
thicker blanket.
It cures
But
disease.
it's poison. Technically,
poison and
alcohol is a
disease.
It
poison.
is a poison, yes. I think you should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
At
While
least
they're
make-
doing this, I've bounded through Zal's legs and tried to go upstairs.
Yes, you've seen a jackalope go between your legs.
Zal kind of looks and is just like,
You've got
That's
a new
new.
friend.
Gone.
and why is it trying to get upstairs?
Were they sleeping upstairs or downstairs?
Yep.
Upstairs. Yeah, I'm trying to get upstairs.
255. Hey.
So I've bound, I'm not really trying that hard. I'm bounding up the stairs.
I know there's a lot of druids around here, so I'm just kind of like, is it a druid? Probably druid. Don't know why it's going upstairs though, because we're the only ones in the upstairs in
No,
the
there are
inn.
multiple
Oh,
people
actually-
in there, including the owners of the place.
They have reworded it.
What?
You touch a creature and can either heal one disease or one condition afflicting it. So as long as it's under a condition.
What? What's the
It
restoration?
could be poisoned.
Yeah. So poisoned, paralyzed, deafened, or blinded.
Yeah, that's what I've got written here.
So
I
what
mean,
is
we
what
used
is
it
what is
for the-
Yodri at the moment? What can
We used it for the Ashen King's Plague. So
Right,
it
you choose
could
from
work.
blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. They're the only things it stops.
Well, but alcohol is a poison.
I'm
so-
blind drunk.
I will try and kill Yodri of his poisoning.
Yeah, just technically poisoning.
Cheval stands by this thing is not worth
18 plus 12 to
30.
yeah. So
Sorry, human.
Yes, and it is appropriate for lesser instead of greater, because greater doesn't cover that sort of thing. Unless it's something so bad, lesser restoration doesn't cover it.
I don't think I can get the higher greater restoration yet because
Level
I'm
5.
the problem is
Technically
I'm
level 7 caster.
yeah, technically I have the slots up to level 7. I am just not a level
Oh, no,
7.
you have the slots up to level 12, but you have only got the ability to cast spells as a 7th level spell.
Yes. But I'm
sorry, a 7th level caster.
Yeah, but I'm a 6th level cleric, so I can't.
Technically, you're
No.
a 7th level cleric because you've got 2 levels of Mystic Theurge.
You still wouldn't be able to
does that
cast
still
Fist.
count?
Each
It's
level
a
of Mystic
5th level
Theurge.
spell, Grand
Oh,
Restoration.
okay.
Yeah.
I got confused then. All right, so
Well-
maybe I could have it.
I
This is where I need to actually spend a day with you.
can heighten. Hildren can heighten and integrate. No. There was 2 things. I don't think she can heighten to greater.
So, because I thought it,
and I'm a 6th level cleric.
I'm technically triple classed, but I thought like it didn't count the extra.
That's where the Mystic Theurge adds the level of caster to each of your 2 spellcasting classes. So your wizard is can cast as a 7th level caster.
Yes. Yep.
And your cleric can cast as a 7th level caster. But they technically have the abilities of a 5th level cleric and wizard.
Yes.
Just that they've got the higher spellcasting.
Yeah.
That makes so much
The
more
fun
sense.
of Hildren is she's a full and a half caster.
Okay, so the little bunny with horns reaches Calcrix's room.
Sniffs the door.
So just a quick summary. We're in the inn, we're all in our rooms.
The others are outside dealing with a very sick halfling.
Okay.
And Rodri
Who's
woke
just
up.
turned up.
Self-inflicted.
Right.
Rodri woke up with a storm-coloured jackalope staring at him.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And
So-
he was what, just outside
I
the
think
inn,
Georgia ever
inside
went
the
to bed.
inn?
Outside the inn.
If my lesser restoration looks like it's worked at least effectively enough, then
Okay,
it's
so
still showing up.
it's gotten rid of the poison condition. It's just now got the blinding headache of overindulgence.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's
Okay.
a hangover now.
You can deal with that one yourself. I'm gonna head upstairs to find out what this.
And it sounds like someone shouting in his head.
So Calcrix is up in her room. She's just been poked by Varlin, who's just handed her a cup of coffee. So Calcrix is just blindly sort of like gotten poked, reached out, got the coffee, and is drinking the coffee. And Varlin's like, "We're running late. You slept in." "I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning exploring forbidden cult barracks rooms. I'm allowed to sleep in, right?" "Nope, up now."
I'm outside the door, sniffing, and then I start scratching at the door with my horns.
Since Valen's busy making breakfast and cookie stuffs and getting coffee, Calcrix will go answer the door.
Okay, so from trying to make sure I remember all the names. From Morgan's perspective, what you have heard of Calcrix is Calcrix made an appearance in the first Wild Hunt.
So you hear from inside the room, "I'll get it!" Padum, padum, padum.
But
Door
Calcrix
opens.
doesn't remember being there yet, because it hasn't happened for Calcrix yet.
Okay.
So yes, the door opens and you see this big, multicolored dragon.
I bow.
I realise I'm looking over, I presume.
Yep.
So I look down. Hello!
I bow. I sort of nose under one of my paws for a bit, and out comes this.
Oh, I see you are very educated in the ways of etiquette.
And at that moment, that's, unless you do a check, that's all you know. It's a pretty mushroom.
Thank you, my small friend.
Do I
will
say
do a
eat?
check to see if I know what this is.
Then do a nature roll.
Oh, I know I had my... Oh, it's over there. It's not actually completely out of my reach.
Careful, because you are making your thing balance badly.
Yeah.
Beware of the shrooms.
Thanks, I might go for it.
Beware of the
I
shrooms.
suggest you might want to move your body closer, because it will balance you badly.
Gary sits back down.
Yes, the book had actually raised on one
Okay,
end.
the thing is it is. Never mind.
I love this building and this dice thing, but I would be sitting up to hold it straight. Otherwise I always end up on the wrong kind of number.
They would be
Okay, so-
sitting in front of that silver dragon on
So
there,
it's an
under the
18
darkness.
plus.
I can get this.
Would this come under her like tea, coffee, herb knowledge? Because she makes mushroom
no.
teas. No? Okay,
No,
so
no,
what
no.
does it come under?
It would come under your nature.
My nature. which is not bad. So 18 plus 11 is...
That is 29. So yes, you would recognize what it is.
Okay, so what have I received?
You have received a hummingbrella. It's a Feywild fungus that grows. It's a fungus that grows in the Feywild. It is difficult to cultivate, but some people find it worthwhile to do so. It is characterized by a colourful, broad, frilly cap with a drip that drips sweet nectar that attracts hummingbirds. Can be used against poisons.
Thank you, little friend. This is a very worthy and honourable gift for a dragon. Please come in and partake of some coffee or tea.
I bound in. Do I see Eep?
You do. And for you at this point, you recognize Eve as one of the wild fae dark fae who joins the wild hunt. One of the first dark fae to join it.
I sort of stay distant from Eep, but like nod, and then I go to my paw again, and I pull out this claw that Eep would recognize as part of a fairy dragon, and I throw it to her.
Okay. Eve doesn't seem to move yet. Lands perfectly in Eve's hand. Or leaf, as the case may be.
At which point, Eep then says, "My gorm," and hands you a cookie.
I nod, move closer to Eep, take the cookie, and eat it gratefully.
And Calcrix quickly says, "You are not under any obligation for accepting any cookies from Eve, but anything else that you offer or do with Eve comes under the Fey laws. So just please be aware of that. The cookies only free you of the influence of Exantiophil. Feel free to eat them as often as you need. They will also help you feel less fatigued and exhausted. May I have your name, good friend?"
Can I speak?
It's completely up to you.
I'm trying to remember if Jackalope lets me speak.
If you don't speak, you will just be given sign language as to which you prefer.
Jackalope. No, I can't speak.
So I will hold up coffee and tea and look for you to indicate which one.
I nod towards the tea.
I also have special coffee, which is cinnamon milk.
I nod towards the tea.
Okay, cool. She'll pull out her tea brewing set, and then she'll go through the ritual of making you tea as only Calcrix can.
Yes, and your character would also know that pixies go a little insane when you give them coffee.
Which is why there's special coffee. For pixies and chocobo.
So it's a psychotic break for pixies when they drink it.
It's probably why I'm avoiding coffee.
So, Calcrix, would she recognise that the jackalope would not be able to drink coffee?
You would be unsure depending on the creature. Like the Axe-beak can drink coffee as long as it doesn't have it 5 days in a row.
Yeah, okay. So
because by the time we got to 7 days, it was completely psychotic. More so than usual.
I'll say, I'm not sure what brings you here, my good friend, but my name is Calcrix, and this here is Eep, and this is also a good friend of mine, Valen. We are very pleased to have someone someone such as you in our acquaintance.
The jackalope thinks for a minute, looks frustrated, and then turns into what looks like a teenage elf with storm grey hair, pale skin. I'm trying to remember what I look like, and like stormy eyes, storm grey hair, some flowers and stuff in her hair, sort of short and skinny for an elf. Did I give you my picture?
Not yet.
don't think I sent it through Discord. That's
I
right.
was going to say, it could
I'll throw it up
probably
on
be
Discord.
rectified.
I
I
will-
like it how there's like a blank person there.
I'll throw it up on Discord while I'm here. But so for the people who are here, before I throw it up in Discord, this is who Calcrick sees. And she looks up and she says, "I was summoned."
Oh. Well, now that you can speak, what is the name you wish to give?
I am known as Morrigan.
And who summoned you, Morrigan?
I'm not entirely sure.
Were you summoned to come to me?
Come to the party, but to give a hand. But you were the one who seemed to deserve my attention.
I really appreciate that acknowledgement, and I feel all of my party members are very, mostly respectable people.
I think at that point Zal has made it to the top of the stairs and
I was
headed
going
to your
to
room.
say, shall we come and shall I introduce you to them? Was my next thing. So if you haven't got up to the door, Calcrix will leave Varlin to pack up the tea gear, and we will go and meet the rest of the party.
Before we do that, you get a... I'm not so sure about the halfling?
Godfrey?
Yes, the halfling downstairs. He almost threw up on me, and I really don't like that.
Last I checked, he was not with us. So, my good friend.
He ended up riding with the Wild Hunt for a little while completely intoxicated and has no memory of it.
He must have. Yes, let's go check on him and make sure he's not going to throw up on any of the other patrons. And I'll introduce you to the rest of my party friends.
And as you probably bound out your door, you see Zal at the top of the stairs.
And then just as we're about to leave the room, Calcrix turns to Eep and says, "Eep, this is Morrigan. Morrigan is currently family. Do not eat Morrigan." And Eep says, "I go."
Lovely to meet you, Eep.
And Caracas can tell that Eep does recognize Morrigan.
Oh, we'll talk to Eep about that later. And I'll lead you downstairs to meet the rest of the party, who I presume are downstairs with Yodri, who's thrown up because there was medicine checks, I heard. And a very understandable Fire Janazi who did not waste her healing on self-inflicted pain.
Zal was at the top of these stairs because she was trying to figure out what was going on with the jackalope.
Okay, so as we open up the door, I'll go, "This is Zal! Zal is my dad. It's complicated, but Zal's my dad. He's good people."
Morrigan looks you up and down, smiles a little and says, "Greetings, Zal."
This is Morrigan. She looked like a jackalope just a few minutes ago, but now she's this beautiful creature.
Zal just kind of nod, cool, not unusual for people to change into animals. Seen it before, just it doesn't faze him. Greetings, Morrigan. I am Zal, herald to the Great Calcrix.
His body's like,
It is nice to meet you.
I'm fairly sure our good friend Drazzle, or one of our patrons, has sent Morrigan along to help us in our mission quest.
Something like that.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Drawl.
I'd be less surprised if it was one of our patrons.
Who knows at this point?
Lady of Shadows is Fae, I think.
Very dark. As is he.
Apologies for the person downstairs. He looks like he had a bit of a day.
Looking in the room, you see Eep is tinkering with some sort of necklace in the background.
Is it new?
Well, you've never seen it before, but it looks to be full of teeth. Or claws, hard to tell.
Cool. Yep, not going to ask questions there. I believe Calcrix was bounding out to introduce you to the rest of us.
Yes. Indeed, we're on our way out. She'll turn back and see if Eep will join her on her shoulder.
You see Eep finishing with something quickly putting it away.
The claw necklace that was the gift.
Well, it was a claw that was a gift and has attached a claw to a necklace.
I see. So Eep has a necklace. Have I seen this necklace before?
No, she hasn't added to it before, so...
That's okay. I'm just wondering whether or not next time we come across a fairy dragon with a toothache, we could help them out.
Yes, Eep would be more than happy to help them out.
Calcrix will help them out. Eep can have the tooth if it's lost.
Well, it won't have an owner by the time Eep gets it.
There's not a lot she can do about that. She will try, though.
Okay, so yes, Eep does bound onto your shoulder.
I'm like, you should wear your pretty necklace.
Eep shakes Eep's head.
I've done my pretty necklaces.
Eep just gives you a hug.
I give her a hug back.
And so yes, you come down seeing Anton and Zal, Anton and Chauvel with a bleary-eyed Yodri. His hair's still sticking up backwards as if he's been stuck in a windstorm.
Yodri! Calcrix runs over and pretty much envelops Yodri.
Did any one of you in the last 10 minutes cast prestidigitation on poor Yodri?
Yeah, I think he's still going to smell a bit.
And Yodri is currently on mute.
At least he'll be clean for poor Calcrix.
Morrigan looks at the three people. She looks at Anton.
So I hugged the two dragons.
I think I'm just one dragon.
He sees two, I'm
He
sure.
sees two.
Oh, okay. Right, I see.
Took
me a while.
As Calcrix flies across the room, basically, I'm just going to go, you probably don't want to do that. Oh, too late.
Yeah, I wouldn't have...
It's okay, I've got prestidigitation.
Depends on what your sense of smells like.
I've been around Yodri a long time. I can use prestidigitation to make a nice smell, I believe. Yodri now smells like coffee. And ice cream.
And currently Eep is looking hungry.
Yeah, well, we're all waiting for breakfast.
Why is he looking hungry?
Yodri now smells of coffee and ice cream.
Oh, I'll give Eep real coffee. And I don't think I've got real ice cream on me right now. It's not something that I think I can just produce. So I will give Eep some of the stuff that I usually give Eep for breakfast.
Okay.
Oh, no, she likes the sausage here. I'll give Eep some sausage.
Morrigan looks at the other three, smiles at Anton.
I'll give you Anton's description. He's a scrawny young man in ash grey hide armour under a drab grey-green cloak, wearing soft red-brown shoes. He is carrying an unwieldy red-brown polearm carved with elaborate runes and a wicked-looking dagger. He is always holding that. He never doesn't hold it. An iron band on his left ankle sheds a sickly black light. A horrible scar mars his left cheek, and dull black scales cover his hands. Reach out to shake hands. I don't know what's appropriate to him. I've never learned this. What's appropriate to Faya? Do I know?
Morrigan looks at your iron band and nods from where she is. But Zal might notice that the grin is slightly wider towards Anton. She then looks at Yodri, and the grin gets wider again. And
Fuzzy bunny!
there's almost a hungry look in her eyes.
She's an elf now. Or like a mini elf.
And
Where's Fuzzy bunny?
Yeah.
and then she looks at Cheval.
Sure,
Cheval.
Cheval, yep.
And the grin goes, the teeth are bared, and she growls.
Ooh.
Don't understand this one.
What did you...
So
Calcrix will look at Siobhan and go, what did you do?
I think it's more what she is.
In response to your passive intimidation, you see Cheval's eyes go dark red in return, and a blank stare of "so what?"
No fighties.
In
Always
Morrigan's
blame the paladin.
In Morrigan's eyes, they go darker and stormer, and lightning flashes quickly. And in the distance, you hear this rumbling of thunder and this crack.
And then suddenly you see Calcrix's face come into your view. And she's like, we should have breakfast.
The sausages here are really
The
good.
sausages here are really good. At the same time as Anton says it. And then offers you a sausage.
I did eat last night, but I could eat again.
I ate last night too. I can definitely eat again. They do pancakes good here.
More of a sausage girl.
I offer you another sausage. There are lots of sausages. I get all the really good sausages. I do not know why.
Probably because you're.
Are we sitting at a table?
Yes.
You are sitting at a table.
Okay, I am sitting next to Calcrix, away from Cheval, and away from the iron band on Anton's ankle.
What? And does things to me, doesn't do anything to anyone else.
It's iron.
Faye.
Oh. Okay.
Faye are not fans of iron.
Oh, okay.
I do
I'm
not
sorry, I
know
didn't know. I
why
wasn't aware.
Cheval and Morrigan are growly, lightning flashing fire at each other, but I definitely know that sausage makes everything better.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got some people having a nutty porridge, and others are having eggs with roasted potato and spicy sausages.
The big breakfast.
I think we all had the spicy sausages the day
With
before and we liked
freshly
them.
squeezed juice of your choice.
Zal will probably be having the nut porridge.
I don't know what juice is. I drink
I'm eating
juice
basically
with coffee
sausages.
beans.
I look at the potatoes and the other things, and I just go, "Ugh," and eat the sausages.
And you do remember something that happened overnight when you were coming here. The Wild Hunt had a purpose. And last thing you remember them doing was riding off with a dragonborn.
Yeah, I was Drazzle. Is Drazzle with us?
No.
Ah, Drazzle has disappeared since yesterday.
Drizzle has disappeared.
What about cart and horse?
Cart and horse are also gone.
Well, if I don't see him, I'll actually go look in the stables and see if he's there. If I can't find him around the area, I will conclude that he's gone off on his own mission, but I will have a brief look for him.
This is before Monday, isn't it?
You don't know.
No, but this is before Monday's group.
I was
Could
going to
be,
say,
yes.
I need to be reminded each week. Are we 4 weeks behind or after at the
No,
moment?
we're about 4 weeks behind from memory.
I have to get reminded each time because otherwise
Okay,
Calcrix.
so Wednesday is 20 days ahead.
Yeah.
And Tuesday is 20 days ahead.
So Calcrix wouldn't know what's happened to Drazzle yet.
No.
Well, Drazzle disappears from time to time, so I'm not fussed. I'm not concerned because I know Drazzle will just reappear somewhere. He's on good time.
Does anyone mention the fact that there was a wild hunt last night, or is just everyone like on airs this morning?
Well, Yodri has no memory of it. Much like his aircraft incident.
Do you even know what the wild hunt is?
I was going to say, I think Calcrix does from
You
the Lady of Shadows.
you will have heard that even from what you know of, especially in Caldara, it's basically where the Fae are roiled up about something and do something to set it right.
Okay.
Normally at loss of life for those who get in their way.
Okay.
And it's the one time that you have the Dark and the Wild Fae working together.
But would they at this point know that the Wild Hunt came? I don't think
That's
I've said
what the
anything.
indicator
That's why I'm
tells us.
asking.
It would
Has
just
anyone
be,
actually mentioned it yet?
Saying what Anton would know.
Mm.
And you would have some ideas that it's been through because of some of the talk in the inn when you got up.
Right.
The druids in particular would have been mentioning it.
Okay. Hence the reason why they're telling us to stay inside at night.
Is Jeru in the inn this morning again?
He is in the inn.
Calcrix will come back not having seen Drazzle, and she'll say, I don't suppose you've seen my blue dragonborn friend about?
He says she believes he was taken by the wild hunt.
Taken by the wild hunt? What is the wild hunt? I've heard of it, but she's going to play completely dumb and see what information he gives up.
He's sure it is a price paid for bringing someone back.
Don't worry, we didn't take him for bad reasons.
Calcrix will suddenly look at you with a much more sharp look. We didn't take Drazzle for bad reasons, being you're a part of the we who took Drazzle?
Yes,
Is Drazzle okay?
he will be.
Is he safe?
Very much so.
Okay then.
Remember, Drazzle would have known this was going to happen. So,
Oh yeah.
So I'm not fast.
I just checking because if Drazzle ever needs it, Calcrix will go after him. I don't think he's needed. I think he's needed it once. I think it's been once.
I don't think Drazzle's ever required anything of me.
I know with one of the times where I was away from
Well, he
him.
has said not to kill him.
Yeah, but I had no intention of ever doing that. So that's an
look,
easy thing
I
to
think-
fulfill.
I think Drazzle feels that the biggest favour you could do for him is not kill him.
Well, okay, that's a pretty easy one. I can do
Yeah.
that.
So Calcrix will now look at you and go, so, what is the wild hunt?
Me?
Yeah, you just said. We
Yeah.
took him. So you've indicated you're a part of the wild hunt, and the druid's just like giving her a vague answer, so now she wants more information.
They're my family.
So like your family is called the Wild Hunt, that's what your family's called?
Yes,
How many of you are there? What do you all look like?
it depends.
So imagine a 12-year-old child, basically. The enthusiasm is just, this is different.
Yeah, it depends. Sorry, gotta find my notes. There are some consistencies, like the head of the hunt, King Gwyn Apnud, and Jurak is often around, but it shifts and changes like the wind.
And what do you hunt?
Depends.
Is it like Eep hunts mostly fairy dragons if she's allowed? But I know other people hunt like animals, and other people hunt fish, and some people hunt. I like hunting goblins when they're bad. Goblins aren't very good sometimes, and yeah, they're fun to hunt.
Zal kind of raises his eyes when you say you only hunt some goblins.
I
And it's just kind of like look at you like really? You're going to try to pass that one off?
Yeah, I did not kill any goblins in the Hill Giant Village.
And did not
Because
kill
they
any of the
served-
space goblins either.
Yep, because they served the Hill Giants, and we were there for diplomacy. I killed no goblins then. I can't say the same for other members of the party.
We
Okay, that's fair.
hunt.
Calcrix is like, I got one up on the others.
We hunt those who are unworthy, deal breakers, and those we are contracted to hunt.
Calcrix suddenly goes, ah.
Who
I
contracts you?
understand a little bit about why you're here now.
People who will pay the price.
Why am I not surprised that Drazzle's in trouble?
He's not in trouble.
No, Drazzle's not in trouble.
Or is he calling in the favour?
I'm not sure who summoned me.
Yeah. That one's probably going to be less obvious.
Do you know why you were summoned?
You need help.
That's true. We do need help.
And guidance.
When
I was told.
When do we not need help?
I don't know. Burning ships down to the water lane.
Well,
Yeah, we do need help there too.
yeah.
No, you're perfectly good at burning
No,
ships
we
down
weren't
to the water lane.
supposed. We shouldn't have been perfectly good
not,
at it.
not the White Dragon.
Like I said, that's something you didn't need help with.
I mean, you can't exactly blame me for that one, though.
I
It
wasn't
depends
blaming you, I
who's
just
on
said
the
you didn't
ship.
need help for it.
No, I didn't need help for that one. No.
Calfrix will point out she cleans her own room.
That is good.
When did you burn ships down the waterline? All the ships we ran into would end up getting crashed
Yeah,
or exploded.
This is when we were travelling with the Vikings.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
have
but
a
none of those actually got burnt to the waterline. They sunk or got exploded.
No, this was the Troldaran ships we came across.
Diation.
Or Thyatian ships, sorry.
Yes, I know. Anton would be very offended if it was purely Troldaran.
Sorry, I get them mixed up all the time.
Anton doesn't. He just thinks you're racist.
No, yeah, apparently.
I don't think that. Like, I think Phaeacians and Alphatians are about as bad as each other.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
Zal should know better, but you know what?
Yeah.
Do I know anything about the Wild Hunt on my own? Like,
Not as much yet because you haven't really encountered it until now.
Yeah.
Though you encounter it in the future.
But obviously I don't remember that yet.
No.
No, that's fine.
Well, alright. So we're without Drazzle, which is unfortunate because I was going to give him a letter today, but that's fine.
We just have to hang on to it for a little longer.
Calfrix will say, oh, the letter you wrote last night, if the GM will allow. I think if you look for it, you'll find it's gone already.
I think
really efficient.
I think it was the night before because it wasn't the night of the party.
Yeah.
Then it would already been home.
Yeah.
Alright, well, there we go. Cool, well at least that's one thing.
Valius will get your letter.
And my present.
I haven't seen
My
anything of
gift.
Proshka for a while, so I'll zone out and try to find out if he's within range and
He's
what he's doing.
He's hanging out in a barn and playing leap on the animals.
Which barn?
You have no idea. It's a barn.
Okay.
It's inside the barn, not outside. So you get to see this really good view of inside the barn.
No,
But you know it's somewhere over
I
that
can
way.
communicate over that distance, so but where are you at the moment, Proshka?
You get a direction that he's in at the moment.
Okay.
I was going to say, I didn't see him when I was checking the stables for a horse.
No, he's not in that barn.
Not that one.
So are you still tracking Elmo?
Yes, you can see him watching Elmo.
Okay. All right. What's Elmo doing?
Currently, I'm burying something in the barn.
Okay. Did you see what it was that he's burying?
Proshka is very happy to say he saw it.
And what was it?
He's very happy to say he saw it.
I think you should probably go and track down your dragon and
All right.
find out what it is that got buried.
We'll wait till the offending person is left there and then
That's for stealth. But you probably want to start looking for him, or you can.
No,
They're still in the barn.
I think Proshka can show me where it is later.
Hopefully.
There's not too many barns within 1 mile radius of the inn.
You haven't checked in with the GM about that yet.
Is there more or less than 10 barns within 1 mile radius of the inn?
Let's see. You know from the maps you've seen that there's probably about 5 or 6.
Okay.
Maybe 7. Maybe 8.
Try and remember the image of it so that if I have to do it myself rather than asking Proshka to show me where, I can have some chance of finding it.
Well, in the direction he sent you, you're sure it is not too far away from the woodcutter.
Okay.
And it is south of the Inn of the Welcome Lynch where you are.
Okay, all right, that's good directions.
Who was Elmo again? I'm trying to remember.
Early on when we first arrived, there were two mercenaries. There's Zert, who seems to be an experienced mercenary, a fighter of some type, and Elmo, who seemed to be one of
the guards on watch?
No. So we were told in the rumours that Zert was and these were rumours, that Zert was a trustworthy guy, and Elmo just seems to, if I remember right, I'm looking for my notes, was just like a colleague of Zert's.
The first night that we were here, they were both trying to grill me for information.
That's right. Yeah, no, I remember now. Yep. I was just trying to figure out which people they were, because we met half the town the first day we were here. So it was like, at what point did we meet these people?
Every noise in the tavern, in the inn, Morrigan's head twitches towards it a little bit, but she is steadily ignoring Cheval.
I think Cheval in particular is steadily ignoring Cheval.
Okay.
Cheval doesn't say anything.
Considering our goal is now to track down each of these cults, and this is not cults, avatars through these druids, Calcrix will ask Jeru if he will assist them in finding the avatar of air, who's Zal being the...
Well, he says he hasn't really had much dealing with the avatar of air, as they mainly dealt with the avatar of earth.
Oh, yeah, sorry, they're the earth ones. Sorry. Apologies, got my wrong element.
Well, he does say that he did have someone asking him about it a while ago. He called the guy a bit of an idiot.
No, my...
But hey, you're a dragon, the fact that you asked what they asked just meant you're probably interested in why they were asking about it.
I misspoke. I meant if I was trying to request you might help us with the avatar of earth.
Well, they used to have a keep on the edge of town. Okay. And unfortunately, after about 5 years ago, it was burnt to the ground as the inhabitants fled the country. Probably would have been about close to 10 years now, he says.
So when he was saying that we would need to approach each Avatar Guardian and negotiate with them about releasing their connection to the Temple of Elemental Evil, and him being the representative of Earth, is he able to help us with that side of things?
Well, he can make sure the town doesn't bother you while you investigate the ruins of the keep.
Yep.
Because, well, they've sort of been keeping watch to make sure no one loots the place.
Well, Calcrix is almost inclined to go to the keep and then just like run off in the direction of the keep.
Just hold on a minute before we go.
She's still finishing her breakfast, so you guys have got time.
Nah.
Meanwhile, Calcrix finishes her breakfast in like one bite because she's so excited.
Play.
No.
Cheval's gonna tie Calcrix to the chair to give us a little bit more time.
What role does Cheval need to do for that? I'm just curious. This is funny.
And considering it's a large dragon, the chair that has changed in size.
Do I fit as a large dragon?
Yes.
Because I would have changed back to medium.
Zal jeers on Cheval going, think you'll need some more rope for that, mate.
Calcrix is just like giggling. So, no disadvantage.
I just want to check on...
We're playing tie-ups.
I just want to check on Proshka before we head out of town. It might... So, I head out, stuffing the last bit of
Calcrix is like, we're playing tie-ups.
Okay, right.
While Calcrix
is something to distract the dragon so we have more time.
While Calcrix is playing tie-ups, Morrigan looks at Calcrex, thinks for a second, and then a blink dog appears next to her.
Do
And
I
she
know what a
says-
blink dog is?
It's well, there was no dog. You blink and there's a dog.
Oh, okay.
It's large.
Yep.
It's like the size of a wolfhound.
Mm-hmm.
It has yellow-brown fur, and its eyes match Morrigan's. And on its chest, it has that symbol.
Oh yeah, yep, I see. Is this a playful dog? Because Chevelle might have to roll with disadvantage.
Yeah, no, joins in the play.
Joins in the play.
So, does the dog help Chevelle tie Calcrix up?
Oh, the dog will not help Chevelle.
Oh,
No.
okay.
That's fine.
Okay, so when did Calcrix get into bondage?
No, she thinks it's a game.
So this is the first time I've
No,
been
it's basically actually stated that out
cool.
loud.
I pick up the dog and throw it out of the inn. Dogs don't eat at the inn.
Mid-throw, it teleports back to next
So
to
you
Calcrex.
throw it and then it's like turn around, it's back here again.
Hey, it's a boomerang! Hey, boomerang!
Zal will keep jeering on Chevelle, just be like, I think you've lost your touch.
I pick up the failed ranger and throw it out of the inn.
Morrigan's
Unfortunately,
watching
I
all of
can't
this.
teleport.
Calcrix will catch you.
Morrigan watches all of this. And
It's family
are
fun.
you fairly obviously a paladin?
Yes.
Very.
Very obviously a paladin?
yeah.
Very obviously a paladin, yes.
And
Currently
ev-
with the symbology of two gods.
Yes.
Every
Okay.
millimeter of
thought he
Chevelle
even
says
was.
He still has
paladin.
some of the symbology.
I
of
don't
each
scream
symbol.
paladin anymore, but you can clearly
I was
see
going to
by
say,
the
she almost literally
by the
screams
plate
paladin.
armor and the
Not everyone can
and
see
the
it, but it's still there.
marks of my god on
I thought the deal
my
was
weapon
that all
and
got
my
destroyed
chest plate.
when
You
he
definitely know there's
renounced.
something religious about me.
He hasn't fully renounced.
Anyone who's watching
I thought he
Morrigan
He tried. but he
notice
hasn't
she
fully
looks
renounced.
confused and conflicted, and then she looks at Calcrex, and she looks at Anton, she looks at Yodri.
Mhm.
Calcrix will just further
And-
confuse Morrigan, look at you and go,
Zal.
my mum's tying me up.
And she thinks for a second
You see why we need help.
and does a long, slow blink.
Welcome to the party.
And then she carefully approaches Cheval and says, "You are both a thing I hate and a thing I protect."
I give you a gracious nod as I continue to carry out the foul range out of the inn. From the snarky remark of "you've lost your touch," I am proving my point by picking up the foul ranger and dumping it on its ass outside.
I enjoy your humour.
The Proud Ranger lands in a squishy mouth.
I
Perfect.
guess we can be companions for a bit.
I'm guessing prestidigitation is needed at this point.
I have prestidigitation, so it's fine.
And just before I go back into the inn, I say, "So, have I lost my touch?" And then I walk back in.
And I go, yes, and I run away.
Did she throw the failed ranger out the door?
No, she picked her up, took her outside, and dumped her in a squishy
Okay,
mess.
is there a dex roll for her to avoid the mess?
No, she stood up, walked up to the mess, and then dropped it.
Wait, you threw me in
No.
the sick
That's what.
outside.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
outside the front door is a mess.
Oh, that's on the front door. Okay,
Yes.
cool. Oops.
Okay,
No, because basically the whole idea was that I didn't realize outside the door because the door's closed. I just got you to the door, open the door, put you down, close the door. Didn't realize that all the sick was out there.
Well, yeah, I still do say
And then you hear
yes.
this bubble pop, and probably Zar going.
I kind of thought we saw a lot of sick out there, so it's hard not to notice it.
The others
There's
didn't
been a
go
lot
outside.
going on.
No, we didn't go outside. All that we got was the stumbling
Okay.
mess of Yodri.
I thought we were at
coming
least
back
going to throw the
inside.
doorway. Okay, I did.
You might have, they didn't.
So I hear.
Go out there and cast prestidigitation.
So you see a small little smirk on.
Well,
like,
I've got
one
to head
half of my
out
face
so I can
from
do it on the way
from
out.
outside.
I just didn't know I was stipping sick.
Yep. As you're cleaning out, you get from Proshka that on the way back, as it's flying over someone watching them the entire way.
Okay.
As you can sort of see yourself.
Oh, well,
stepping out the door.
I can't. I can only look at from one perspective at a time. So while I'm looking at me, I can't see what Proska's seeing.
Proska's describing it.
Oh, okay.
So you're getting this running images of ideas, but not really words.
Okay.
The blink hound's sort of jumping around you, and every now and again, there's you blink, and it's on the other side of you, or behind you, or in front of you.
In her enthusiasm to chase the blink hound, Chevelle has completely failed at buying Calprig's help. Because Calprig's will not
I wasn't chasing
steal.
the blink hound.
No,
my attention went quickly to the sledging that was
So-
up in the corner.
But
And by
because
the
you
time
stopped
Chevelle
halfway
looks
through.
back inside, the rope is just all over the end.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna wrap it all back up. So
Meanwhile, I go to the stables and check on my pet.
I
Make
distracted
sure he
her.
hasn't got a new leg.
that's fair.
There seems to be some
I give
sort
you a
of
respect. Thank you.
collar on him that wasn't there before.
Oh, this is a horse
Is this
slash
Chocobo or
Drassel
Chocobo,
collar.
yeah.
Well,
new,
look,
under new ownership.
that's my immediate take on it.
Chocobo is now mine.
I'll cast Speak with Animal and ask Chocobo, what the hell is on you?
Oh, he goes into this really long explanation about meeting the wild hunt and impressing someone so much they gave him a gift.
I was hoping it was going to be the short version. I look pretty.
Well, so he's got two collars now, because he's got the collar of
And
flight
it's something
and
to do with having ripped the guy's leg off.
Of course he did.
What?
Whose leg
And
did
so,
you
so
rip
the
off?
guy awarded him for it.
Oh, someone from the wild hunt.
Oh.
Did you rip their leg off? And they rewarded you for
I
that?
think whatever hunting.
He goes, why not? Wouldn't you?
Depends.
Man.
Zal kind of contemplates this for a few minutes and just like, okay, good job, buddy, and kind of like pats him on the head. Do you know what it does?
No, he said it would be funny.
Oh, great.
We might need to figure out what this thing does.
I can't use detect magic because it will be magical, but and I always get confused between the detect magic. and
Detect
different
magic
things.
will tell you what school it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's what school it is,
So
but
he
not.
it says it will also help him hunt.
Oh. Mm.
I'll guarantee it turns you invisible. That's almost guaranteed, right? And Chocobo's probably like, yeah, invisible hunting,
He says, I
right?
can go invisible. Yay!
I don't know, I don't know, buddy, but if
He
they
starts
said,
holding his breath, having heard that that's how that works.
does he just like pass out after a few minutes?
Oh, he starts breathing again.
Oh, okay.
And then tries again.
I don't think that's how that works. You know how you make you fly with your collar? Think like that.
He thinks like that. And then he sort of gets very wobbly on his feet.
What is Chocobo?
He's an axe-beak. Okay. But he has been raised by Zal from an egg. And
To be a murderous ambush predator.
Yeah, pretty much. To play on the axe-beak's nature of being ambush predators, and when Zal was still a ranger, and that would have been really useful. It still is useful, actually. But yes, that murderous hobo intent got a little out of hand for a few years, but he seems to have dialed back a little bit with age. I say a little bit. And that's probably not much, but it's enough.
Well, hey, now you know horses in here.
Yeah, that's my worry.
Horse mating behavior.
Isn't the other Drake still here though?
The other drake is still here.
The goat.
The goat, yeah. Well, the other, do I know it's a Drake?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh no, because I talked to it. That's right. Because it couldn't speak with animals, but can. Yeah. Anyway, we did talk to it. Yeah. All right. So horse is gone. don't murder anyone else in town while we're here. And I really need to figure out what your new collar does. So I'll probably spend some time like looking over this new collar and
You can see what appears to be face stylings on it.
I might have to ask Calcrix about this later. I don't know your Fae yet. Or I haven't worked it out anyway. I don't think you've told us, so... I presume you're a druid because you've shaped into different animals.
What would I identify as?
Morrigan.
Yeah.
Everything else is immaterial,
Yeah.
including your form.
Yeah.
Which is why, because we haven't really got down to the nitty-gritty of that, and I'm now in the stables, so I just presume that you're a druid. Because we've also talked with other druids around here, so... The assumption on my part so far is that, until proven otherwise. So yes, I will spend time looking after the chocobo, trying to figure out what his collar is, and if I catch Calcrix at some point today to ask about
Calcrix
it.
will definitely come looking for you as soon as you're gone for 2 seconds.
Chocobo has a new collar.
I will examine the collar and see if I can use my Arcana to figure it out.
Can I look at the collar and
You can.
do I recognize it?
For you, that would be a history roll.
I can roll history with wisdom. I'm fairly sure that's one of my feats. Which is useful because my intelligence is not great.
Hot pot crossbones. Cupcake in return. If I'm going to use an Arcana,
Hello,
I should probably
Tyrion.
roll my Arcana.
So everyone's piled into the stables now.
Except,
Well, at
except
least
Anton,
Calcrix
who's gone
and,
off chasing his familiar.
Yeah.
Well, actually, trying to find this barn, actually.
So,
So
while we're
yeah.
there, I see Zal talking to the Axebeak. They go, "What's that?"
Morgan, this is my pet Axebeak Chocobo. And Chocobo probably squawks
What's an
loudly.
Axebeak?
Zal kind of looks at Chocobo and sort of like, this bird thing is an Axebeak.
What does it do?
He kills things probably a bit too well sometimes.
And rips your bloody leg off.
Yeah, don't go to the toilet by yourself.
My
Miriam.
history sucks. 9.
No. You sure you've seen that somewhere before?
I got a 19. It's intelligence, right?
For you,
Arcana.
at this stage, yes.
Can I argue wisdom?
You could, but it'll get you a different result.
Okay.
You get lots of, "What's that?"
I'm sure Chocobo is reveling in the attention.
I'll go with the more analytical one this time, wisdom. But I might, Calcrix may take a step back and look at it.
You're going for wisdom?
I was going to ask, can I argue for wisdom?
I said yes, you can, but you'll get a different result.
Yeah, I'd get a different result. Do I re-roll entirely?
No.
Okay. So my original 16 plus 7 instead of. God, I'm so unusual. 3, which is intelligence. So that would be 19 or. I can't add 7 to 16 today.
23.
There you go. Wisdom is just what she intuitively does.
Are you
She's a much
proficient?
more-
Are you proficient in? Is it what was it? An Arcana
Arcana.
check?
Yes.
Yes, you're
Yes.
proficient in Arcana, so you got a +4 to that, so it's 27.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
There you
I've been
go.
doing Calcrix's sheets.
Sorry. My brain is really
Okay,
tired
so
today.
as
That's
you're
why you got me.
looking at it, it has all the symbology of transmutation magic.
Transmutation how?
Transmutation changes things.
But does it indicate what is being transmuted into what?
Well, it would obviously be something to do with Chocobo. But what exactly? There are so many things in transmutation.
Would I have an idea that it would likely to transmutate Chocobo into something bigger, larger, faster, stronger, deadlier?
Well,
T-Rex!
who knows what it might do?
So I kind of look over at Zella and I'm like...
And I'm like, I know that look. That's not a good look. Oh shit.
I wouldn't take it off if I were you.
We may want to have more information. And if you could take it off, I would definitely suggest taking it off.
I wouldn't take it off.
I am
if I
not
were you.
touching that thing with a 10-4. I agree with the.
I'm gonna reach out.
Are you worried about it?
A little. Knowing Chocobo's history of having his own role in the killing of innocent stable boys, and considering my recent traumatic experience having to give a death knock call to the parents of a stable boy killed by a drake that looks like a goat.
Zol kind of be like, he only did that once.
Yes, but still, you know, Calcrix does not want to relive this experience anytime
Chocobo
soon.
knows that if he kills people without my knowledge now, that there's a bit more consequence to his
I'm not
action.
going to try and take it off, but I'm going to try and touch the collar and have a closer look at it and see if there's any... Sorry, I did mean to do that before, but
Sorry, I'm over here.
I couldn't find my phone, and then when you gave me my phone, I forgot that I wanted to do that. Which is turn the air conditioner
Killed
on.
children?
No, not children.
No,
Adults.
not yet, that we know of. A lot of goblins, though.
Hmm.
Now,
Would you like-
Burning that one.
Do you need help getting him to behave?
Sometimes.
Calcrix will look at you and go, not while horses are around.
Though you do hear him saying Sylvan, Choco hunt.
I don't understand.
Can I respond
Sylvan.
in Sylvan?
Mm-hmm.
I understand, Sylvan.
Zol kind of looks at him like, what did
I
you
will
just
interpret.
say?
I will interpret, and I was like, Chocobo just said Choco hunt. Can I see any writing or anything on the collar?
Well, that's what makes you think it's transportation magic.
But I don't know anything more than that.
It's not a script you're used to in it.
And it was given to him by the Wild
Mhm.
Hunt. And when I touch it, it doesn't.
It doesn't do anything special.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to have any clasp or seams or anything.
I will give you this advice. Don't leave Chocobo alone until you know what this collar actually does.
Kind of planning on that.
And this is the first time that Morrigan hears Calcrix sound like a proper adult. Like, there's no childish voice, there's no...
Zol's like, don't worry that was the plan.
This is like,
I-
I suddenly transformed into a 30-year-old.
I look at Chocobo, and he reply in Sylvan. My grin gets wider, and my eyes start flashing, and say, Morrigan likes to hunt too, but don't do it without me.
Mm. That will help.
Choco's happy now to have a partner in crime.
And I'll translate to Zal, because Zal doesn't understand Sylvan. And Calcrix is like, this is better than nothing.
Zol kind of just like sighs and just like, well, yeah, I guess, but really depends on what they're hunting, doesn't it?
That won't be children.
I
He
have,
hasn't killed children.
I have
Recently.
faith at the moment that
In a few
because
years.
Morrigan has been sent to us, that we can trust her with truth.
Oh, don't get me wrong. If she's been sent to us by our god or Drazzle, like I'm not going to question it at that point. But it is good to know that you trust her.
And I look behind me, and I say, Taran, watch.
You blink all the ears.
Yep. And starts watching, looking almost playboyish, but watching Chocobo.
Chocobo looks very excited. Now has a new playpen.
We should.
I'm like, Are you sure about this? Like, he can get a little bit, excited.
And Tyron doesn't?
I look at Zal and fully knowing where Oregon's looking at me, and I'm like, I assure you, they'll be fine.
Hey.
Well, remember that you've taught Chocobo, no body, no crime.
That is correct.
That's true.
So you have no idea if Chocobo's been killing other people since then?
Yeah, except for the fact that, you know...
I do remind him that I do prefer him to let me know, and that if I do find out that he's been keeping it from me, there are consequences.
and Zal will be very unhappy.
With the noting, if you do find out.
When? Say when.
When I find out.
Have you ever heard Chocobo talk in Sylvan before?
No, and that's why I was like, wait, what? and I asked Chocobo, I'm like, when did you learn this language that even I don't know?
He just looks at you.
Do you want anything else?
A hand wipe thing.
Yeah.
The words you said before, they weren't your normal words.
Chocobo, no. You not know?
Surprisingly, no. How long have you known?
Chocobo always knew.
Adds to list of languages to learn. Ever-growing list of languages to learn. Sylvan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I don't know Sylvan. Ethengarian, Slayat, Dwarven, Celestial, Goblin, Draconic, Elvish, Altblek, Gnomish, Cinderseans, Warren, Learning Your Alarm, and Apathian? Alpathian?
Alphasian.
Alphasian.
Dash one would be good.
Okay, so while you're doing that, Anton, you walk past Elmo as he sort of waves in your direction as he's going off to the inn.
Yeah, no nod.
And Proshka then lands on your shoulder.
Okay.
Do the milk. I'm
Thank
not
you.
as confident with that.
As a goat?
No, he's the pseudo-dragon.
Yeah, but didn't we say he looks like a goat?
No, that is what Bradshaw's mount looks like.
Oh,
And Bradshaw's
okay.
mount is a large drake.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, come on. I'll leave it.
Not as big as Russell's horse, but fairly big.
Okay. I'm still worried about agents of the Master being around here. So deviate, find a place where it's completely concealed, people can't see me. Cast disguise self. Maybe look like an elderly farmer
You
carrying a
don't
hoe.
look like Elmo?
There's two Elmos. That's a bit too.
Well, if you're going to walk into his barn...
Okay, alright. I try to look like Elmo then.
It's just the reason why I was asking, because otherwise it's strange walking into a barn if someone else sees it.
Well, yeah, no, but if I look like nondescript, they don't know who it was. Anyway, okay, I look like Elmo since I've seen Elmo. I was going the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And asked Prospect to show me where it was buried, and proceed to dig it up.
Okay, so... He takes you to a...
I might cast Detect Magic before I get too advanced with digging.
Okay, so you have to take magic going, and he takes you to what appears to be a bit of the floor where you saw Elmo shoveling stuff.
Okay, well, try to clear it away. Try not to make too much of a mess.
Well, the shovel is nearby.
Oh, the shovel's nearby. Okay. Be careful about this. I'll do an investigation check if necessary. I don't want to trigger traps or anything, or actually, or leave too much evidence of the fact that I've disturbed this place.
Well, that's being covered over with straw, so...
Okay.
You can just scrape all the straw out of the way. And
Okay,
see
move
where it's
the
been
move the
disturbed.
straw out of the way. Just maybe hands not silk blade, and then what can I see?
You can see that the earth has been disturbed. You do
Okay.
not detect magic, but then again, magic can be blocked by
Image
certain
can be
things.
blocked. Okay, well, dig a bit.
Okay, after about 10 minutes, you find a top of a chest.
Okay, and is the chest magical?
You get no sense of magic from it.
Okay, is it locked?
Well, you've got to dig the rest of it out.
Okay, there's a chest here. I'm no good at this sort of chest opening thing. That's a more of a Yodri thing.
Cheval's got it.
You're not there though.
Okay.
You could cover it up and then ask.
Yeah, that's what I think I will do. I will cover it up to the best I can, and
You've got it.
if I'm out of, and then head and put the spade away, head to a spot that's out of sight again, end the disguise self, and then return to the inn.
Okay, as you return, you see the others coming out of the barn attached to the inn.
Okay. Wave.
You get Calprix's attention immediately.
Okay. We've had lots of fun this morning, Calcrix.
We have.
Playing,
Where have you been?
just looking around. How are you feeling, Yodri?
Hey?
Yep.
Like old times.
You feel up to using some skill, or you still got a splitting headache?
And somewhere during the morning, Yodri has found out you're in Alphatia.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know where we are? What we're doing?
We're in Homlet.
Let me consult my familiar. I'll ask Storm what's happening.
What is Storm again?
Lots of pets in this party.
He's my interest as a cockatoo.
Yep.
Told you.
Okay, so your imp tells you
I don't mind
you're in trouble again. Congratulations, you've drunk yourself into a stupor.
That was
But did I have fun?
He says more so than the people you ran over.
Oof. That sounds painful.
Ran over?
Yes.
So was it in a cart?
No, you used your horse inferno to ride over a bunch of people over the last 2 or 3 days.
Okay, so I rode over them, not run over them.
But yes, you did run over them with your mount, he says. Some of them multiple times.
Okay.
But I'm sure they're all bad. Well, they're, a little flattened out than they were.
I was going to say, they're probably feeling a bit flat now.
I wasn't joking. He's going to install a breathalyzer on.
Yeah, I think we should.
This was on the horse, not in the cart.
Airship, horse, whatever Yodri's riding is breathalyzer.
No, I work a lot better when I'm drunk.
I feel like we should give Storm a breathalyzer and just instruct Storm not to let Yodri operate any animals or vehicles.
You give Storm the breathalyzer. Storm will blow in the breathalyzer so he can.
Oh, okay.
It's an him.
I feel like we should nominate another familiar of some sort.
Chocobo!
No, Chocobo will also blow in
Stay
the
sober or you lose leg.
Then Chocobo will keep giving him alcohol.
Yeah.
So, is he drunk yet? Is he drunk yet? Whoa, he's drunk. Okay, like mine.
I feel like there's no one in the party that we could trust with this task in terms of familiars.
I think we should get Chocobo some Kahlua. Best of both worlds.
Just so he can give it to Yodri so he can get drunk and lose a leg?
Calvrix very, very lightly scuffs Yodri up the back of the head when he mentions that. In only the way a large dragon can go, no killing of innocent people and no psychotic act speaks. Thank you.
Yeah, Chevelle had to deal with the mess of that last time.
Yeah.
No, it'd be hilarious to see Chocobo try to chase down two victims at the same time.
Okay,
While
so
drunk.
while you're discussing this, you see in the background the Blink Dog and the Axebeak both doing teleport tag.
Okay.
The Axebeak is doing teleport.
It is doing teleport tag.
Is it because the Bleak Dog is assisting it to
You
teleport?
have no idea.
Calcrix wants to figure
Hey,
this
somehow
out.
I remember that happening. Teleporting Chocobo.
She's going to see if she can figure out if it's to do with the dog or if Chocobo's teleporting all on Chocobo's own.
Well, teleportation is not a transmutation effect.
No. Calcrix will look at Morrigan and go, is that Puppy or is that Chocobo?
As far as I know, Taran can't help other people teleport.
That's terrifying.
He's never done it before.
That's really
Did
terrifying.
you ask the puppy?
Taran,
Comes over to you with a blink, and then on the other side of you, there's another blink, and there's Chocobo.
scratch Taran by in the ears. Scratch.
I feel like it should
Chocobo.
be reserved for Zal to be back in the room. Because the full horror of this can't be appreciated unless
Without
we see it
Zal.
on her face.
Well, it's easy to describe. Zara just didn't notice.
Miles knows about it. All the rest of the party do.
Scratch
Just practice
Taran
the
behind the
video.
ears and scratch Chocobo sort of to the side of the head and go, "Good boys. Taran, are you helping him teleport?"
He just sort of looks at you with the, what do you think?
No.
I've never seen you have that ability before. Have you learned something new?
No.
Yeah, not the puppy.
I will look at Chocobo and say in Sylvan, when did you learn to
To blink around.
teleport?
Chocobo, watch puppy.
Oh, no.
This could be really bad. Really, really bad. Because I have a feeling that being a part of the Wild Hunt now means that Chocobo can learn new tricks from
Yes.
lots of other new animals. I look at Eep and I'm like, I'm trying to think of how to word this so that Eep can actually answer me in a colour. But I'm kind of like, is this normal for creatures that go on the Wild Hunt to suddenly have this magical ability to do pretty much whatever they want?
You sort of get a sort of color of happiness from me.
So yes, this is a Wild Hunt thing. If we were concerned about the safety of what we see as innocents, you know, that whole thing you don't quite understand yet about the people you can and can't kill, and why you kind of let me give you guidance about the people you can and can't kill. If we wanted to prevent Chocobo from killing people, like that Chocobo doesn't realise Chocobo shouldn't kill, is there a way to do that?
Chocobo has the color of uncertainty.
Eep has the colour of uncertainty.
Eep has a color of uncertainty.
Yeah, I figured it was
With
too
this
complex
new
a concept
discovery.
for Eep.
In this new aspect.
And as you're thinking, you see the blink dog blink away and start playing again, followed by a blinking Chocobo.
Does that
I'm sorry, what did I miss?
Does that
Horror of
mean
all horrors.
does that mean Chocobo has to abide by the laws? The guidelines of the laws of the Wild Hunt.
Only while on the hunt.
Okay.
It seems
The
that
Wild Hunt is a process.
in the background, while Yodri and Anton were negotiating, finding a place to look inside the chest. In the background, Taran, who is the blink dog, if I've said that right,
Taran,
of,
yep.
Morrigan and Chocobo were playing, and as the Blink Dog was teleporting around, Chocobo started teleporting around, and it seems that when questioned, Chocobo's just like, I watched Taran do the teleportation and I just started doing it myself.
Chocobo watch puppy.
And so now it looks like your Chocobo can watch from what Calcrix is surmising. Theoretically, any other magical creature do something and then just copy it.
I really want to test this theory, but
Oh,
at the same time, I don't.
No.
At the same time, I really don't want to test this
No.
theory at all.
I wander over to where Chocobo and Taran are playing, and I call Taran to my side and expect Chocobo to come, and then I kneel down and whisper into Chocobo's ears.
Well, you don't have to kneel down because he is
Yes.
taller than you.
Okay. Then I get a motion for him to bring his head down, and I whisper in his ear. And what I say is, if you are now part of my family, there are a few rules you will have to follow. I will explain them in detail later. Until then, don't hunt. If you break those rules, I will have to remove you. And like there's this low growl in the last of it, like distant thunder.
And Chocobo gives a happy chirp
Yes, thunderstruck.
Yeah.
because, hey, most creatures that are predators recognize predators.
And I go, so, no hunting without me?
Chocobo happy to hunt in Sylvan.
Chocobo not hunt without Morrigan.
Chocobo happy to hunt.
now Chocobo's problem
You are talking to a fence post.
I'm aware.
And Zol looks over and
But
is
this
like,
is very important.
Zol looks over and is like, are you right? Do you need a bit of help with him? He can be a bit funny sometimes.
Calcrix is listening to the conversation, and there's just a point where she just face palms.
Chevelle
Yeah,
has
when I see Calcri's face palm, I'm just like,
Chevelle's
you need a
seeing
bit
what's
of
going on
help
here.
there.
I've heard talk about hunts and stuff. I just walked back into the inn. Honestly, I'm not dealing with this garbage anymore.
What do you usually do to communicate important things?
Food and incentives.
And as a final resort, horse.
Yeah.
I dig into my bag.
Calcrix will try this. In Sylvan, she'll say, if you don't do what Morrigan's telling you, horse will enforce the law.
You see, Chocobo nods and says, Chocobo happy to hunt.
I dig into my
Calcrix
bag.
follows Chevelle into the inn.
Yeah!
I dig into my bag and I pull out. It's a steak, and it's quite big, but it doesn't look like any meat that you're used to. Mm-hmm. And I go,
It's made out of wood.
What drugs have you laced this meat with?
I'm like, you better be careful of that, because if you give him an incentive like this, you will never hear the end of it.
That's true.
I look at Chocobo and I say, if you only hunt with me, I will find rewards in the meantime.
And he seems happy, he does a happy dance and says, Chocobo hunt.
Does he say it in a language that I understand, or is he
Still in Sylvan.
Still in Sylvan.
Okay. I'm like...
Sorry, you translated Sylvan.
Yeah. If I see him do the happy dance, I'll just be like, that's about as close as... Like, that's about as close as you're going to get to whatever you're trying to tell him.
That's true.
You can get the steak, or you can get the lightning. Your choice.
And you get another Chocobo hunt.
And I give you the steak.
And Zol's just like, oh, you've done it now. Good luck.
I feel like if Anton's going to get his chest opened by Yodri, they should go to a private room.
And I'm also like, I don't know what bargain you struck with him, but good luck.
Good luck.
I'm almost tempted to use a ritual on it, but no, I'm okay.
As Calcrix has gone,
Could
followed
they count
Svilland
that
to
as
the
a
inn,
bargain?
She's like, we're all going to jail.
As a deal?
Yes and no, it depends. Most Fae don't bargain with what they consider beasts.
Yeah, okay.
He's slightly above the average intelligence of your normal bird.
Slightly.
But it's sort of, even with higher intelligence, you wouldn't look at him as you would a child. You don't really make bargains with children.
No.
I'm going to go upstairs and tell Varlin that we're going to
Possibly
go
go wrong
explore
with
the
bargains
ruins,
with children.
and then wait for the rest
They
of
negotiate back.
The sun is up. No.
No, it's not, kid. The sun's not up. The sun's up. The curtains are closed, kid. The sun's not up. Go back to bed.
My alarm hasn't gone up, but your alarm did go. No.
No, shut up. What's the line?
We've started shutting the hallway door, and until we open the hallway door, they are not allowed at the other end of the house.
Yeah, that's good.
That's what we do with the cats.
Okay, so yes, back in the end, you're sitting back down at the table. They're starting to clear away the food. You see a couple of raccoons clearing everything up.
That's right, raccoons were doing the work, yeah.
I'll stay out, and while I'm slightly bemused at Chocobo's responses, I'm trying to explain to him the rules of the wild hunt.
And every time you say hunt, he says Chocobo hunts.
I'm going through the list of what we don't kill and what we do kill.
And so if you say we don't hunt this, he says Chocobo hunts. And if you say we do hunt this, he says Chocobo hunts.
Yeah.
Every time you say the word hunt, he repeats with Chocobo hunts.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the right combination.
Zal is sitting down, watching the interaction, knowing that every time Chocobo does this, that you are just digging your hole deeper. I don't understand it, but I am finding great enjoyment out of it.
For once, it's not Zal being tormented by its own bird.
Yeah. I was like, oh, so this is what it's like. I don't understand, but I can certainly see it.
It's very important. If he's part of the wild hunt, he has to know the rules.
And you know, Zal and Chocobo and rules.
But the problem is, if he doesn't follow the rules, it is my job to enforce them.
And your responsibility.
Yep. Even though I'm not the one who gave him the collar.
I really want to know who gave him that collar, but I don't understand a word you're saying, so definitely...
You're just hearing Sylvan go
I'm
back
just
and
hearing-
forth.
I mean, actually, I could probably cast tongues, but it's way more funny just listening to you try to convince Chocobo of whatever, but...
Well, considering Chocobo has been repeating the same phrase back again and again and again, and someone told you what the phrase was, you know what those words mean by now.
Yeah. So I'm getting the general gist of the conversation is that... and something hunt. Hunt! something hunt. Hunt!
How tall is Chocobo?
He is large.
Which is...
So most people are
Just
medium.
Yeah,
You'd
okay.
be medium, so he would be almost twice your height.
I was going to say, isn't he like 2.5, 3 meters tall? Yeah.
He would have
He'd be
twice.
closer to 3 to 4 meters. At
Oh,
this
3 to
stage.
4. Oh, because he's an adult now. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
So yeah, he'd be about twice my size. Okay. So you see this like looking like a teenage elf, and like round like it becomes almost darker around her. It's almost as if there's storm clouds, but there aren't any.
Yep.
And you see not frustration because
Just disappointment.
just
Calcrix looks out the window
stubbornness,
to see
straight
these
up
growing clouds
stubbornness.
around
There are
this
no
teenage
clouds.
elf. Well, to see this growing sort of stormy thing, she's going to look out the window and wistfully think, wonder what happened to Shofar, our angsty teenage elf.
I think as I start seeing, you get not quite so much frustrated, but just like exacerbated at the fact that Chocobo doesn't quite get it. So I will come up and come over and
I'm putting my ear like just out the window. Going, I'm just expecting to hear this. You stupid bird! Just listen.
Oh, he's listening to every
Can you
word.
understand, Sylvan?
I'm
pretty
presuming
sure you
Anton and
don't.
Yodri are going to come into the inn rather than open their
I'm just
chest
seeing the
out.
frustration
Yeah, well,
building.
what do you
You
get,
know?
You have to actually get the damn chest.
I'll just be like, if you need help or if you can explain it to me in a language I understand, we can maybe work out a better way to tell him that doesn't involve the word, and I'll say hunt in Sylvan because I at least know that
he does the happy dance and
Yeah.
does chocolate
that every time.
The issue is that it seems that Chocobo has been invited to the hunt, and we have some rules.
Okay, but do those rules always apply?
Most of the time,
Most of the time.
if you are hunting, yes.
Is this hunting specifically or hunting for nourishment?
As part of the wild hunt, you hunted for everything.
There's not really a difference in my mind.
Not in the Feywild. Or
I
the
sort of look at
Feywild.
you and go, what's the difference?
Well, trust me, there's a difference.
It's not going to hinder him getting nourishment. There are just a few restrictions on what we are able to hunt.
Such as?
Not legs.
Well, as long as as long as they're not dead, I don't really care. But,
So when you hunt for a reason. These reasons usually include...
everything?
But you're instructed to do that, right?
The king does tell us what we're doing.
I think your hunts, and I'll say hunts, wild hunts, differ from the hunting we have done in the past.
We don't stop.
We do. We have a definition.
The hunt is the life.
If Chocobo's been invited to join the wild hunt, it might be that Chocobo now sees the hunt as something that does not stop. His definition may have changed.
I am
Is
here
the-
to help you hunt something.
And
That is what I do.
So pretty much in this whole conversation, there's just been this really ecstatic.
Excited. And every time he does the happy dance, Taran jumps up and down and blinks a couple of times.
I'm pretty sure Chocobo knows the word hunt in like every language, right?
He knows it in a few.
He would at least know it in all the languages I do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you used to say time to hunt, and you'd go off and hunt.
Yeah.
We only hunt those we are contracted to, deal breakers, and those we feel undeserving. In this world and in the Feywild, it doesn't leave us short on prey.
So if I was doing something with Chocobo that involved, and I'm trying to now avoid using the word hunt because Chocobo looks like he's about to pass out from excitement.
The ending of your life is something.
It's like going walkies to a dog.
Yeah.
You want to go find something.
Yeah, when we go and do
food.
our job, it sometimes involves me sending Chocobo off to do things for me that I've taught him to do.
Is he going to kill those who deserve to live?
That I can't
Sometimes.
answer.
I'm not there. I'm in the inn. And if there's Anton in a chest, Calgrix is now staring at the chest.
Well, he has to take you to where the chest is.
The answer to that is probably yes.
He didn't take the chest with him.
Be aware that our definition of deserving to live and innocent is different. Most things are available to hunt. But if I say that the prey should not be our prey, then that is final.
Okay, I'm sure we can work with this.
And as a part of the hunt, if he does not follow these rules, I am responsible
Question.
for the...
Oh, sorry.
Try to think about the words very carefully. Like, Morgan is very carefully trying to think of the words. I am responsible for the repercussions of that. And those repercussions will not be on others. It will be on Chocobo.
Here's probably a question you may want to ask Sal. When Chocobo's not allowed to kill something or someone, how does she indicate that to Chocobo versus something Chocobo is allowed to kill?
I was just about to get into that.
That was the don't get caught part.
Because as long as you kind of go, no, killy that, yes, hunty that, then you'll be fine.
Do you have a preferred way of indicating this? In my experience, it tends to be a little painful.
I try not to punish him too hard. It's more treats and stuff get taken away. But I turn to Chocobo and I start speaking in very quick Celestial to him. He understands Celestial, I think.
Yeah,
He's understood it in the past.
Yeah, cool. I'm just triple checking because I'm pretty sure I have spoken to all animals, mostly in Celestial.
Well, he has spent a lot of time with your celestial horse.
Yes.
They argue.
Yeah, I know.
You two stop arguing or I'm going to turn this card around.
Yeah, that's pretty much the deal.
I'll turn to Chocobo and I'll just be like, Morrigan doesn't want you to kill unnecessarily. You have to run your hunts by me or Morrigan, and if we say yes, you can go.
You said hunt,
He's extremely excited. And he's now looking at where you pointed.
Taran's probably looking that direction as well.
Thank goodness Eve is
I'm trying not to point, but anyway.
Be careful when you point.
Yeah, be careful where I
teleport
point.
now.
So I'm now going to give you
Only 40 feet.
Perception roll.
Sorry.
He can only teleport 40 feet.
Well, that's not going to be great.
40 feet is a lot when there's a building between you and that 40 feet.
Yeah.
40 feet is a lot when there's edge of a forest.
12.
Okay. You realise where you pointed. Ape's still been standing out in the courtyard, and you just said hunt and go. And
Taran looks at Ape.
Both Chocobo and Taran look at Ape, look at you, and growl at you.
I'm not saying right now, guys. I am saying as a ground rule, from now on, if you would like to hunt something and kill something...
This is why I went in the end. I know exactly what this is.
If you pass me your notebook, I can write down the rules for teleport.
Okay.
As Chocobo's new...
If you want to go out, and do these things, you have to run it by me or Morgan from now. You cannot hide these things.
Stop chasing after this bird.
She will find out better than I will, and trust me, I don't think you'll like the consequences.
And you just
of
watching
that.
Chocobo nod in everything you're saying.
This is a conversation Carfreeze has had with Eve like 1,000 times.
I'm just waiting for Hunt.
There is
somewhere
more
in your
details,
sentence.
but my
I was going to say, in the meantime,
Animals,
poor
my
Anton
conjure
wants
animals
to
and
take
stuff.
people to go and look at
You know,
his
you know
shit.
stuff
how-
isn't
you know-
there,
you
but
know
that's
how
the
you talk-
basics.
Yeah.
You know how you talk to Moch? She just looks off into no man's land.
You're like, oh, okay, yeah, no, no.
That's what Chocobo's doing to you right now.
I know,
Oh, yeah,
I'm not.
sure.
I know I'm gonna have to reinforce this like every day for like probably the next year, and I'm willing to do that because I know how smart/dumb my bird is.
Only really intelligent when they want to be, aren't they?
When they hunt.
Yeah,
yeah, that's kids.
yeah.
And he's been training to be an ambush predator for 12 game years.
Yeah, for 12 years. Yeah.
I'm still just I'm at
Actually,
this point.
what's
At
the
this point in
lifespan on
time,
XP?
Cheval's
He's
the
lived
small
longer
flame
than
makes
most.
some popcorn.
I
He's
was
watching
gonna
us
say,
from the
that's-
window going.
Yeah, okay. He has a sponsor
Watching these two
somewhere.
trainees
Well, he did eat his brother early on,
No, I know.
but then his brother was taught to be a pacifist.
Yes, which
And
is
then they were left together.
I was going to say, during this time, Carfreeze has gone up, told Valen that they're planning to check out the ruins, brought him along, come back down and come back outside, and then walked over to Anton and going, "Where did you go? Was there something interesting there?"
I'll finish off by telling Chocobo that I'll want to come out with. Oh no, we don't go into the forest at night, do we?
Well, you're not sure about this place. what
Not
the
this
rules are.
forest, because the trees.
The trees move.
deadly.
Maybe tomorrow, and Morrigan can show me the ropes of kind of the rules, and you the rules, and see if we can't work out a better way to enforce this.
To train.
Yeah. We're going out for training tomorrow,
You're gonna be
Chocobo.
Pokemon training.
Get excited!
And he gets so excited he disappears.
The rules aren't
I'm sure.
many.
I'm sure.
Just-
I really need to get a find an air tag or something on it.
Air
You
tag.
sort of do get the shadow of him above you. He's basically appeared right behind you.
Okay.
I was going to say, there's a moment where
It's sort of like I
Carfreeze
pat his
almost
beak
went
and I'm
to
just
eat
like,
and
okay,
fetch,
good boy,
but,
just good
yeah.
boy.
That would be very deadly.
The rules are firm. It's just that the prey shifts.
So, is Yodri up to doing stuff?
One thing you
with
need to know
Anton?
about Chocobo.
Yodri's
So does
headache has
Morrigan.
subsided a little bit with the hour or so of conversation with Chocobo outside.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's very amusing.
I didn't say it was a bad thing, it's just that sort of conversation takes a long time.
It
It
does.
does. And they have a very disappointed bird when it realizes that you're not actually going out to hunt.
I said tomorrow.
Well,
We're doing
we are
training
going
tomorrow.
out to the ruins, so you could possibly ride Chocobo out there, and there might be opportunities to train there.
I was gonna bring him with us regardless because I don't
I
want him like
Teleporting.
teleporting into the tavern.
I think train is the word you want to use instead of hunt. Training.
Yeah, well, that's why I said we're going training
Training,
tomorrow.
yeah.
Well, he knows training because I've taught him how to hunt
Yeah.
and ambush when we did training.
I just sort of absolutely. You know how it was like every time they went to the bathroom, they never looked up, all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
All of a sudden, they lose a leg, and even if they do look up, it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
Something took my leg. I don't know where it went.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yep, that's it.
And if they're not dead, I don't
Oh,
care.
a sudden amputee.
The amputee, I don't care about.
Yeah, there was a time when
Sorry, man,
most of the
please.
town guards had prosthetic leg.
Amusing.
I think he very rarely leaves them dead unless, they die from the natural causes of having a leg.
A leg
and-
severed.
Massive blood
Severed.
Well,
loss.
if they're out in the wilds and they lose their leg, that's their fault as far as he's concerned.
Yeah.
That's their fault as far as I'm concerned.
I'll maybe spend maybe another hour explaining this to you. Is from my understanding, this is what happens when we hunt.
And his preference is
this is his
they've got
preference,
their pants down.
and this is why we don't go to the bathroom by ourselves, and we always look up but that might be a problem now.
Holding hands.
And as you're probably listening to this, you're probably just going like, "What the hell did you teach this bird?"
No, what I do is laugh until.
At least Chocobo don't go invisible.
Um,
I mean, it's
That
pretty
we
much
know.
Proshka goes invisible.
No,
Calvert-
Proshka is not
Chocobo
invisible.
just has to watch.
Proshka doesn't get invisible. The Storm, the imp, can go invisible.
Yes.
There you go.
what you're
And
seeing
Chocobo
on
just
Morrigan's
has to watch.
What-
So yeah, don't curse us yet.
what you're seeing on Morrigan's face is just utter amusement. And after it, she looks at Chocobo and says, "Try it." In this big grin, you can almost see like her teeth aren't normal.
Mm-hmm.
They're almost canine in themselves, and her face goes dark and like light and peal of thunder and stuff. And she looks at Chocobo and says, "Try it and see what happens."
Okay.
You might want to specify a target there.
Because if you actually ask Chocobo to try it, he thinks you're actually telling him to do
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to try it on me.
something. I mean, with him, that's the whole thing is
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you ask him.
No, if that's what you tell
If
me,
you
I will
try
say.
it, Chocobo's
I'll stop Chocobo before he I'm like feathers off, just like wait. I'm like, please, can we set a target for him to show you his magic trick on? Because you don't want him to just randomly pick someone. That's never a good idea.
We don't want any of the villagers here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am
Unless I
going
guess,
to.
of course, it's an evil person, which goes that might not be as horrible as
I am going to
an
cast.
innocent.
I really don't want to use another wild shape charge.
Do it anyway.
No, it's just the difference between conjure.
You're being egged on.
It's just the difference between conjure woodland beings. It's either a level sport
Oh,
force
Chocobo
spell.
loves conjure
This
woodland
is
beings.
chauffeur.
It's either a level 4 spell or another wild shape charge, and I will give it the level 4 spell. So, I cast a level 4 spell and conjure woodland creatures, which is actually phase stuff.
You've actually conjured breakfast.
Yep.
I see.
Not the first time.
I'm still like, I don't know if you can blink out.
I presume
Next thing you know, you're only holding a feather.
I presume these are cute woodland creatures. Is this correct?
Yeah, I'll summon a couple of satyrs and sprites.
You now think you've got a little bit of a
I
problem.
don't want to train him
if you're
teach
riding
to-
Chocobo at the time.
Yeah, we will have a problem.
I don't want him to train him to eat link dogs, so I will summon a number of satyrs and sprites for him to chase and eat and play with.
In like
I
about
think this,
2 seconds
Yeah, I
after
think
you
the
tell
scary
after
thing-
you summon these creatures, he's back in front of you,
And
and
looking
he'll-
rather disappointed because, unfortunately, these ones weren't nutritious.
they don't exist anymore.
I pull out another hunk of meat and say, "Good boy."
He squawks very happily. With kill murder as his main squawk.
And I reply in Sylvan, "Very much so." I say, "Kill murder."
Only when we tell you to.
You don't understand.
I know the connotations.
And you know that look.
I know that look. I'm just like, only when I tell you or she tells you. Got it? And he's
As you
just
see,
like,
he's covered in fairy blood.
Yep.
It's slightly sparkly.
Only when she or I tells you to hunt, murder, kill, will you be allowed to do it from now on. And hopefully he nods and flappies.
He does a whole nod, flappy, and then headbutt.
Ow.
How are you conscious?
Many headbutts.
I'm sure this calluses built up.
Bone calluses.
Yeah.
Horns.
Yeah.
I really want to know what's in this chest, guys.
Sorry. This is important, okay? We're trying to control him.
Oh, good luck with that. I think this is the point where we go. Well,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. And
Yeah.
black.
So where do you head next? You've now got 2 places to head.
I don't want to spend too long on the chest, but I think we ought to do it.
Yeah.
Explain to Yodri about, I'm worried about agents of the Master here in Homlet. This bloke Elmar was trying to pump me for information. Prosper has found a chest he's buried. Would you help me actually open this chest and see what's in it?
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, well, don't draw attention to ourselves, so we'll try to actually...
I think we might want to let them go as a pair instead of as us as a group, because I'm pretty sure Chocobo's going to draw attention to us.
Well, you could potentially have been doing this in that whole hour long.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Yeah. Trying not to draw attention to ourselves as we do.
Well, no one's watching in your direction because apparently there's this floor show.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, maybe I will become Elmo for a little while.
Chocobo and Zol and Morrigan are...
Okay, I cast this to disguise self to look like Elmo, and 3 of us, that's Prosper as well. We head off toward the barn.
Okay, so as you
Taryn.
start digging it out, it does have a nice
Did it? Does spell
oaken
Tarn, right?
chest.
Taran.
It's probably about probably say it's about a meter in length.
Okay, so it's a decent sized chest.
And if you want
Yeah, it's
Morrigan,
really
that's the right
good.
that's the right spelling.
And once you dig it out enough to see the front of it, you realise it's not locked.
Okay. I assumed it'd be locked. Alright, okay, open it up.
Okay, as you open it up, you see that it is lead lined.
Okay. So, detect magic, then what's in it?
It is full of magical items.
Okay.
And first thing you see on top is a shield with the holy symbol of the goddess of peace, Ethengar.
Okay.
Oh. He's your real
You also
agent.
probably
So
just
he's
saw my
actually-
race,
so
my
he-
heritage
so
and class
he's-
and stuff. I
Okay.
didn't read
He's not what he seems to be.
Oh
Okay.
god, no.
Anything else in the chest apart from chest?
Underneath that is
I don't
a
think
suit of chainmail that looks the sort of thing you'd expect to be on a paladin.
Okay.
That spells...
Or a cleric.
And anything else?
Most clerics generally don't have a militaristic look to their armor. It's more depicting them as part of a clerical order. This one looks very rank oriented, and also has a battle axe that is also magic with runes embedded on them, as well as a longbow and 2 quivers of arrows.
Okay. You said there were some symbols there, religious symbols. Now, what were the symbols again?
Looking at the symbols, you're not quite sure what they're used for.
Do you?
You got the holy symbol of the goddess of peace, Alphatia.
Oh, so
This
that's
is
not
the
that's
god
not
that's
neat.
declared war.
Yep.
She's one of the people who's fighting to destroy Lantry.
Yet, when he would have been a member of the Order, he probably would not have been that aggressive, because she
Okay.
was literally the person of peace.
All right. Okay. I think we know enough. We pack it all away, cover it up again to the best we can, and leave and rejoin the group.
Do I know where I am?
You know you're in Alphatia.
Okay.
Calcrix would have told you you're in Homlet, and that we're here with a bunch of first stewards.
That air aspect of Genasi get preferential treatment because the majority of them are the rulers.
I'm not sure how I feel about Aphasia though.
I would have also told you
Bad guys.
that we were sent here to convince the avatars of each of the 4 cults that used to work for Arphosia to release the connection they have, compelling the 4 cults that used to fight for Arphosia so that they could be freed from the gears or the compulsion that they're forced into. Because I originally said that when I introduced you to Zal, I kind of gave you a rundown of our reasons for being there.
Not the most fun reason for a hunt, but, you know, I will follow the rules.
Actually, while walking back, Yodri, is the Lady of Shadows looking for more prepared to take on more warlock servitors? I'm not sure what you call them.
I think Yodri's the Lady of the Water.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, I thought it was
Lady of Shadows.
So think of Yodri as worshipping Cthulhu.
Oh,
Whereas
okay.
Calcrix doesn't worship, but she's in league in or helps serve the Black Dragon that is against Exantiel.
Okay, this is all getting confusing. So who's your mistress, Yodri? What's the name?
The Lady Below.
The Lady Below, that's right.
It.
The
Yeah,
Lady
the Lady
Below.
Sorry, there's a few ladies.
And loves the tentacles.
Lady Below, okay. I'm wondering if that might be a better candidate.
So I should bring my Cthulhu plush next time.
Alright, okay. We were going to head off toward Ruin, weren't we?
Yeah, we're going to investigate the ruins. I think they're in the east.
Yeah, like they're a few miles away from us.
So you're thinking of changing?
No, there is a mercenary here who wants to become a warlock. He's a fool, but you know, maybe the Lady Below. I don't know. Maybe not the Lady Below.
You could.
I'm sure Mistress Nix would take him.
Okay.
I'm sure I have some contacts.
Mistress Nix, she's the god, one of the gods opposing Exantiel
Okay.
and the Master.
All right. So there's a lot. People got lots of contacts.
And if he wants power, she'll definitely get him to understand that there is no power without responsibility.
Yeah.
So if there's anyone who's going to teach him that lesson, it'll be her.
I think all of them will do that in different ways.
Not guaranteed.
The ones I know.
Orcus wouldn't.
Yeah,
So
almost might
he's
just
after
be-
power without the responsibility.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, do you know that's putting him on the lines of the Master?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I also think that he's a fool, and he won't actually get that. And when he tries to get that, he'll get something he didn't bargain for.
But then he could also maybe end up becoming one of the agents for that we have to fight against. So I'd rather hand him over to.
You having
the
this
god
conversation
that's going
away
to
from us, or
teach him.
No, I was having the conversation with Yodri, but
Yeah.
but
sorry.
are you having it away from us, or are
yeah,
you?
but
earshot?
like if you've got some contacts, that sounds good.
And
I have
you,
quite a few.
You reach the end just as they seem to have wrapped up spending an hour talking to the bird.
Yeah.
I have quite a few friends who would be willing to.
Has that look of frustration on both their faces.
Or maybe I could introduce you to Zert then.
I know of a few who will give the appearance of power without responsibility.
Okay. Then.
When you two walk in, you see the biggest smile on Chevelle's faces. Because she actually reads you out the book. He's like, yeah, I saw you two getting so frustrated over this bird. It made my day. It's the first time in a while you've seen Chevelle smile.
I'm glad I could help.
I
I'm glad
sort of-
Chocobo could help.
I sort of look at you, and I sort of think about it. And if I was a dog, my hackles would raise. And I'm like, where is your ancestry from, Fire Genasi?
My ancestry is
Failed
massively...
water genasi.
I was going to say, massively convoluted.
Do I hear failed water genasi?
Yeah.
Yes.
I relax a bit.
I mean, you heard him call me failed ranger before, so it's
No.
right back at it.
But when you say failed water genasi, I relax. So you are not one of the Flemish.
That's the
Not-
group of people from Milantry.
No.
Good.
He's Ethengarian like I am.
Yes.
He just had an unfortunate accident that made him very angry.
Someone threw
Someone-
away his stone.
No, this stone was going to
Stone.
save the universe, I swear.
It
And then you literally see me like start to fire off.
Caprix is not mocking you. She's like, it was a very important
Yeah.
stone.
And you hear Eep cough something up, and in front of you lands the stone.
Is that it?
Is that your stone?
Can I inspect the stone?
Looking at it, it seems to be the stone.
I look at Eva, I'm like, where the hell did you find
Yeah.
that thing?
I've had it all the time.
No.
Eep just says, "By God!"
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't expect any less, but it was more rhetorical.
I'm just now waiting for Eep to pick it up and throw it in the lake.
No, he coughed it up as a nice gesture.
Do I see Eep as Eep's form, or do I see Eep as Eep's form?
You see him as a little carnivorous plant, and you know that's not him.
Okay.
but you know.
Caprix knows she's not a carnivorous plant.
I also
Caprix knows she
recognize
appears as a
her.
carnivorous plant because Caprix loves
Him. Her?
plants.
It.
Yeah.
Eep changes quite a lot, but most of the
Them.
time prefers her.
Okay.
It depends on what Eep recently ate.
Eep like Caprix does not really recognise gender, but considers themselves female for the most part.
So are we touching the stone?
I'm overly cautious because I haven't seen this stone for many years.
This has been in game 11 years since
Yeah.
you
I was
saw it.
about to say, it's been most of the game year
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
We also
Yeah.
pretty early on.
Yeah.
Poke it with a stick first.
Back when you forgot how to use a bow.
Oh, after that.
It was after that, yeah. Zal will pick it up. Zal will pick it up
Yep.
and hand it gently to Salval.
I will inspect the rock.
It seems to be exactly what you remember. Even has all those scratches and dents.
I pocket the rock.
What's the deal? It's a rock.
No. It's not. It's an ordinary rock.
I kind of look at Morgan and just like, don't. Just
Caprix
not.
goes, it's a very important rock.
And Zal pats Chevelle on the shoulder and
This
just
is-
like,
this is a
I'm so
relic
happy
that
for
will-
you, buddy.
That will save the world.
I look at
Many
Eep
dwarves
and
have died for this.
go. I look at Eep and go. Is that a gift?
And you hear, "Death to the infidels!"
Usually means
Wonderful.
yes.
What colour is Eep, by the way?
Eep has the colour of amusement.
Ah, okay. So I have a feeling Eep plucked it out of I don't know where, and then just brought it up because
Last
that's what
time
Eep can do.
it was thrown into a deep, dark river in a cavern somewhere.
No, it was in the Black Dragon's
So-
cavern.
You guys don't
Do I
know
get
this
anything off the rock?
necessarily, but
You
Caprix
did see it
knows-
did have script on it, but you never got a good look at it.
Okay.
Caprix does know that Eep can reach through planes and pluck something off one plane and bring it through to
No,
his
yeah.
plane. So Caprix is guessing that we mentioned the rock. Eep went, oh, I know how to find that.
Yoink.
Yoink.
Yeah.
And then just gave it to you.
It is going in my notes as the rock of world-saving destiny.
Yeah! They know how I feel.
And I'm sure Chevelle has burst into tears by this stage, having
Watch this.
so many
I'm
years
gonna
about that.
hurl this thing at the master and it's gonna kill the master. That's how.
And it'll happen at exactly the same time that Calcrix hurls the spear that is supposed to be destined to kill the Master as well, and be the only weapon that is supposed to be able to kill the Master, and then she'll fully say it was the rock, not the spear.
Do I care about the Master?
The
He intends
Master
to
would
end
probably
the
be
Wild
seen
Hunt.
as a competitor to the Wild Hunt.
Ooh.
Okay.
So you do care.
So I
He's
care
he's at
because
the level of competing.
I do care because I want to take him down, not because he threatens.
There's a good
The
chance
Feywild.
if he succeeds, he may join the Wild Hunt.
Now I'm torn.
But that would be because, well, the Wild Hunt would have to find other worlds to go to.
Calcrix will put it this way: if the Master joins the Wild Hunt, Calcrix won't. I think that'd be more fun.
Does Calcrix know Calcrix is going to join the Wild Hunt?
Calcrix imagines now that she's heard about it, she will, because it sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, it's heaps of
Get
fun.
drunk.
Just as Ariadne mentioned, imagine I wouldn't even say a 12-year-old. Imagine a 6-year-old kid, and you give him something new and shiny, and then over the next 5 minutes, you give him something else new and shiny, and then you mention to them 5 minutes later something else new and shiny. That is Calcrix.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
played.
Yeah.
No, it's more the do I care about the Master?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You'd see them as a competitor,
Yeah,
and you always want to outdo your competitor.
but it's not like my home is threatened.
Well,
To most
if the
extent.
Master joins the Wild Hunt, it might be because everyone in the Wild Hunt has been defeated by the Master.
So I want to protect my people. but-
Hostile takeover.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But
But
it's-
it's still technically joining the Wild Hunt.
Yes.
But
Still
what I'm
within the rules
saying
of
is
the
it's
hunt,
not
it's
like
just-
Saker and Hildren. It's more of a where it's like world-ending stuff. It's more of a
Oh, it's still world ending.
yeah, but you know what I mean.
From the Wild Hunt's perspective, everyone you know will be gone.
Yeah.
Including you.
Yeah, does get in the way of my plans.
I think if you met him, you would probably hate him instantly.
Oh, he's not against the rules.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Because you
Against
can't
our
get to that
rules, though.
level and not follow the rules.
Hmm.
He's against our rules.
Calcrix wants to know
No,
what
I
the
mean
rules
he's
are.
not against the rules of me.
No,
I'm allowed to
I
hunt.
understand that, but in response, it's against the party's rules. he is actively
So
trying to
you're not
destroy-
allowed to hunt him?
We're not able to
Oh,
hunt
so what you're saying when you say he's not against the rules is it's not against the rules to hunt him back.
Yes.
Calcrix is in for this hunt. And if Chocobo's around, Calcrix is like, yeah, we're gonna go hunting.
No.
That is why I am here, to hunt. What my prey is whatever you direct me at.
And then there's this pop, and there's a chocobo going, hunt, hunt, inside the inn.
And Taryn following close behind.
Ugh. Zal's gonna hop up on Chocobo
This way.
Oh god, I hope
and like
this-
direct him out, and I go out into the forest,
Hey, Calcrix.
and
Well, we
it's
meant
still
to go to a
daytime,
keep at
right?
one
It's
point
morning,
or something,
right?
yeah.
Yes, we were. We were heading to
But
a
as in
kiss.
character to character to get you distracted off again hunting things.
Yes.
Hey,
And we-
Calcrix,
we're
remember that
gonna
thing I was
go
meant to sway to the
practice
chair?
his
We're meant to go to the
teleportation
keep?
by
Yeah,
hunting
yeah,
like
shall we
you or
go?
something.
And as you go into the forest, you know that chocobo's feathers turn to the colour of the forest.
Oh. Camo.
That's good.
At least Zal
bugger.
Zal is riding Chocobo, so at least at the moment she knows where he is.
Yeah, no, Zal is like left at the tavern. He's just gone. Like he's just like given up with the day. Honestly,
Calcrix trying to get him to keep because
If
it's
Chocobo teleports, does Zal go with him?
It hasn't happened so
it
far.
hasn't happened yet, and this is kind of what I want to test. So
I kept Taryn with me.
So I don't know. We might be gone for like a couple of hours, and we'll go test some things and let him
Hours?
hunt. And yeah,
I
it's
was
the
gonna say,
morning.
you're not coming to the keep with us then?
I will meet you there.
Okay.
Once we work out how this new stuff works.
Yep.
Because at this point, I'm just like, oh, Bugger, I need to figure this out.
Yeah.
So, we're hunting then?
No, we're going to the keep. Because
do
we
what?
need to investigate the keep.
So, hunting.
Tracking.
Yes, that's a part of hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're tracking first.
No, we're not killing anything just yet.
And apparently Bradshaw's too drunk to come and join you.
This is unsurprising.
I don't understand. Why do you track something when you're not going to kill it?
Sometimes
Because not
missions or
everything
quests
needs to be
involve
killed.
goals that
Most things need to be killed.
require us to
But they all have a reason to be killed.
achieve something rather than to kill something.
You will tell me when this is the case, yes?
Right now we're trying to achieve something, not kill something.
Boring. I will have to go proper hunting later.
Matrix is not a
I'm sorry your excitement for the day is trying to teach the chocobo how to do its thing.
And you hear screams of excitement from the forest nearby.
Do I know about the forest?
Well, it seems to you can make out it's definitely Chocobo.
No. They were saying the forest is creepy and moves and is deadly.
No, the forest
At night.
is...
Do I know about the forest?
Animated at night.
I would have been out in the forest last night.
You're with the wild hunt. Nothing scares the wild hunt while it's moving. Once you're no longer part of the hunt, well, everything's slightly scarier. But actually scarier by a huge amount because the wild hunt is its own thing.
So are you now
I
part
haven't-
or not part of the wild?
You haven't hunted without the wild hunt for a long time.
I haven't been without the wild hunt for over 200 years.
And this is where you're starting to realize what Zal said, that there's differences. Now you're starting to learn what those differences are.
Matrix will pat you on the shoulder and say, I'll explain.
And so what Zal has discovered is Chocobo can blink with Zal on top, and can also blink with Zal, and without Zal while Zal's on top. As Zal finds himself up the tree.
Okay.
And Chocobo looking up at you with that look of, what you doing?
Like, you left me up here.
I feel that's going to take more than a
You've
couple
now got
of
an absolutely
hours.
cheeky sort of bird.
That was worse. It's worse now. Because he could just
Go on.
fuck right off and leave me high and dry.
Yep. Go on.
If Zal's gonna learn Sylvan in downtime, can I help?
Yes, you can help. Zal's going to be learning lots of
I was
languages,
gonna
I
say,
believe.
Yes.
You can learn
yes.
it from both of us because
I think I'm using some of my downtime to teach
me.
you something.
I'm learning languages from everybody in the party.
What am I teaching you at the moment? Is it
I believe I've got it written down here.
is it Gnomish?
No, I'm learning Celestial and Ethengarian from Zal and Cheval.
Oh yep.
Celestial mostly from Zal, but a little bit of Ethengarian from Cheval. I'm learning Troldaran from Anton. And I know I'm learning a language from Godry, but it's not on this particular page.
Don't know how you'd be learning Ethengarian from me.
Because you can speak that.
You can
You're
That's your native language.
Ethengarian.
I'm
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think if I have
You are
English, you would help.
Ethengarian, so therefore you speak
chuck
Ethengar.
that into,
Yeah, so common is Ethengarian and Thiatin, from my understanding. And is there one more in that common bracket?
Common is Alphatian, Primordial, Shadowlands, Thiatin.
yeah.
And undersea.
And Undersea.
Undersea.
Yep.
I should write that one
Would
down as well.
my common be the same as their common?
Your common would most likely be the Thiatin.
Okay, but
Because
older.
that's the language of where you learned
Does
it.
not drop Sparky?
Me. I thought there was another one, but I didn't know where it was.
I'll have to check what Yodru's teaching.
Oh no, that's right. I'm teaching
I've got
Draconic to Bradshaw at the moment. That's who I'm teaching as well.
What was Ross saying?
I've got, was it Terran, Aquanian, was it Auroran?
Mm-hmm.
I've got Aquan and Orin, so I'm guessing it's probably Terran. Because it'll be one I don't have.
Quite possibly, yes.
Because that's the Earth one, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Okay, so as you're getting yourself ready to head off to the keep on the edge of town, I would say Zal makes it back with that look of oh crap.
Do I blink back into town with
He doesn't go that
Chocobo?
far.
Oh, okay.
Not as far as you noticed. You've seen him move at probably about 30 feet at the most.
No, as in like, are we just blinking back into town
Oh,
together?
probably doing that along the way, and occasionally leaving you behind and then coming back for you.
Yeah, I've just got this
It's like
picture.
running along, blink, and you just go.
Yeah.
I just got this picture of Chocobo blinking, appearing like 40 feet away, going, oh shit, he's not with me, blinking back, chucking it back on his back, and then
I
blinking
see.
again.
I see the equivalent of someone driving a car,
Yeah.
and you're walking alongside the passenger door, just straight open the passenger door,
Yeah.
and then just drive a little bit further.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
We're practicing him blinking with me on him and trying not to forget me. It doesn't always work.
I have a feeling that you're gonna have like a lot of aches and pains by the end of the day.
I
Because
probably
if
will
he's
have
a
to cast
3
healing
meter
at
tall-
some point on myself,
Well,
yes.
he does have this attention deficit problem.
I know. I know.
Squirrel. How
That's
long
why-
has it been since
that's
the
why we're practicing.
tying up Calcrick's thing?
Probably about 2 hours since that.
Okay.
I was about to say it's been a while.
Caltrix shares something very much in common with Chocobo, which is why they get along, and that's the ADHD part.
And by the time you guys are walking out of the inn to head to the moat house, as they call it, the locals, you see a happy Chocobo coming along with his rather pained-looking Zal. And
So-
by the looks of things, Zal is having trouble sitting on the saddle.
So how's your training?
Productive?
And you hear from Chocobo in Celestial, fun! Fun! Play! And then pop, and then Zal hits the ground again.
Oh.
No.
Even Caltrix giggles but looks guilty.
There is no guilt.
I will definitely say eventful.
Morrigan is just loving it and is very tempted to reward Chocobo, but knows that she shouldn't.
Not healing. What? Is there a cantrip healing one?
No, there's a level 1/1 healing word you can do as
Healing
a
word.
bonus
Yeah,
action.
that's what I'm doing. I'm like healing word, healing word, healing word, healing. Ow, ow.
Yes, you heal the damage, but the bruises still hurt.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I know, but I have like 70 hit points compared to everyone else's like 100 plus. I'm pretty sure if I'm dropping from like 4 meters every time,
Unconscious.
And at high speed.
at a high speed,
Do I have anything in my herbalism kit, like any
Caltrix hands
poultices
you
or something I can put on?
You do, they'll normally heal it over a couple of days.
Because
You've
cookies
got to
have
be careful with how many
healing
healing words you cast on yourself. You run out of first level spells.
I'm pretty sure I have like 12 of them.
I hand you a poultice that is an odd colour and smells weird. That I say, this might help. It'll take a few days, but it should speed up the healing of the bruises.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So
Can you teach me how to make it?
Zal literally
Maybe.
has like everyone like.
I don't know
stuff.
if we have the ingredients on this plane.
Smells like stuffing.
No, it smells like fizz.
Fizz.
I almost want to eat it just because of what it's called. Thankfully, I don't think Martin's gonna make me roll a wisdom saving.
Yeah,
throw.
it smells like fizz, and it's this weird swirling colour of purple and orange.
It sounds yummy.
It doesn't smell yummy.
It smells of fizz.
Yeah, but Zal probably knows better. It might smell good, but it probably doesn't taste good.
Okay, but hey, you get to walk all the way to the moat house that's on the edge of town instead of falling every 50 to 100 feet.
Are we actually talking about eating the ointment? Out
I
loud?
believe Calcrix might have.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd look at Calcrix and go, the last person I saw eat it, they were never the same afterwards.
I think that's just encouragement.
I was going to say, that's not exactly disincentive.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, in a very like adulty like this is serious, all parenting. No, bad Calcrix. No.
Hearing Calgary say challenge accepted.
No, she goes, "Aw."
I mean, they weren't the powerful dragon you are, so who knows?
I don't want to risk it.
Dad said no.
He's no fun.
Yeah, sometimes
Some
we
parents
are.
aren't. But it's nice to have parents.
Morgan's face goes blank.
Ooh, parent
Calcrix-
trauma.
Calcrix will put it this way. She enjoys having parents.
I enjoyed it too.
Something tells me that something happened though.
Parent trauma. I mean, to be honest, I have parent trauma too, so I can't really talk.
No, I was going to say, you carry your dad's spell and your mum's
Is
in that
Cheval
house.
around?
Yeah.
Is Cheval with us?
Yeah, 'cause I'll right next to her. When
Yeah. No, I'm very carefully not looking at Cheval.
I think it has something to do with genazis.
And probably fire genazis at that too, given the reaction earlier today.
Yeah.
Water genasi at the time.
Uh-huh.
Not when I saw you.
When he caused the trauma to zone.
Ah.
Okay, so yes, before you even know it, you've reached the moat house on the edge of town. Because, hey, you've been so distracted by parent trauma.
Have I lost track of Chocobo? Like, or has he been following us practicing his new trick?
Well, you think he's been following you, but it's hard to tell because there's also a moon.
Are you worried?
Zal kind of pauses and then he's just like, maybe?
Give me a
I look-
perception.
I look at Taran and go, track. Oh, that's cocked.
16.
Okay, you recognize him up one of the trees next to you. He's currently got the same colour as the leaves.
Taran appears next to him.
Alright, good to know that you did listen and you did follow. Good boy. And then I get out like some like squid jerky that I usually
And
do.
he has his squeaking celestial. That's from above!
Where does he come like nabs the bit of jerky out of my hand?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
With a leap from the tree.
Yep.
Taran follows and then looks at you with the puppy dog eyes.
Get another bit of jerky out. Good boy. And I can't pat him.
Wags his tail and then blinks back up into the tree and like barks at Chocobo.
Choco is just looking at the back at you because you gave someone else some food.
This is going to be a cycle.
Oh, what have I done? We'll go on another hunt tomorrow, but another play date tomorrow, another training session.
I've probably still got some eel jerky that Cheval cooked.
Yeah, probably.
Yes, well, you do know Chocobo doesn't like to share.
I know. Hey, you can't get mad at him. I don't own him.
He wasn't mad at him, he was mad at you.
You can't win at this stage.
I can't win. I give him another piece just to be like, alright, I'm sorry.
And he wins, he's happy.
Yeah.
And Taran's sort of sitting on the branch barking like, come on.
I'll give the puppy dog eel jerky because it's quite yummy.
He'll blink down, take it, nuzzle you a bit, and then blink back up to wherever Chocobo is.
Okay, so yes, you see that the moat house up there, as they've called it, is a basic walled structure that has been knocked down to its lowest level. All the upper levels have been kicked down, and there is a bit of a drawbridge that is broken, laying across a moat surrounding the actual keep. Now the moat itself looks like it is stagnant water.
Yeah.
You believe you saw some large frogs as you were coming closer, but as you seem to have a ambush predator with you, they've hidden.
I'm sure he will love trying to hunt those.
How stable does that moat bridge look?
Well, it is quite large, and it doesn't look as if it's deteriorated, just being ripped down.
So it'll take the weight of a large dragon.
Looking at it, you can hear it groan as you push on it.
You could fly over the walls.
Yeah, I think I'll fly to the other side. I won't take the risk. I would suggest that Chocobo teleport.
What about us?
I'll just walk across.
All of you guys aren't large creatures.
You can hear it groaning as you walk across, but it doesn't collapse.
Okay, right, good.
Do you want Chocobo to link across?
I presume he just does, considering
Does he?
his current behaviour.
He probably does.
You see him blink and then splash as he seems to have jumped into the water.
I mean,
I think he's fine. He's just going
he's
to be a bit
fine.
wet.
I just see him now spraying the pond water everywhere.
Everywhere Chocobo blinks, Taran's like half a second behind him.
I hope your pet doesn't get tired.
Not technically a pet.
Familiar?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I use pet and familiar interchangeably because
That's okay.
Her familiars are pets.
Rules wise, I can summon my familiar for 6 hours. And if I want to resummon Taran, I have to use another wild shape.
Ah,
So, play friend will go away in a bit.
I'm sure Chocobo will be very sad about that.
Galbraith will too.
I've already used 2 of my 4 wild shapes.
Yes. The jackalope, and now you're the.
And now my pet. Yep.
Yeah.
Now my Taran.
Okay, as you get across the drawbridge, hearing the splashing in the moat outside, and the happy squawks and barks,
Yep.
Okay, so we know what's going on, yep.
and Prosper sort of have that feel looking up. Oh.
Well, if you want to go swimming, but it doesn't look very clean.
Yeah, and then you just feel him leap off and go with that feeling of play.
Alright, okay.
He wants to play with the other animals too. You're
Yeah.
very fortunate the large dragon does have some adult in her and has a
So Cheval doesn't have a pet? It sounds like everybody else has pets.
Technically he does.
has Storm,
Technically he does.
and then Zal has like 50 pets, but only has one with her right now.
I don't have 50, but sure.
Well, it's closer to 10.
Yeah.
You've got at least one griffin. You've got your.
Well, there's
celestial
five or
horse.
6 griffins because they're the griffin that's her mount plus the griffins belonging to her followers.
Yep.
Yep.
And then there's her main horse plus her subsidiary horses
Yep.
Yep.
plus her
Chocobo.
chocobo.
Plus
Yep.
Chocobo. Yeah.
So I'm assuming Mochi, being a husky, is big and bumbly and like
Yep.
when Puppy was...
Yep.
Yeah, think very big. The way I think about it is my dad... We had Irish wolfhounds when I was growing up, and even when they were older, they were big, limbs everywhere.
So a cross between a
Big.
Great Dane and a husky.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Actually bigger than the 2.
Yeah, no, I've had friends who've had Irish wolfhounds, and Great Danes, and
Yep.
So the German ones are on par.
yeah,
The German and the English are completely different looking.
The, wolfhounds are awesome.
So you see, you know how big the Great Danes are? The German ones are about twice as wide and taller.
yeah.
Wolfhounds are probably skinnier than a Great Dane, but taller.
Yeah, so that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying, that
that
they're
makes
about the
sense.
same height as the German one, and that they're absolutely scary. Friendliest things, but scary.
Yep.
Okay, so yes, walking into the courtyard itself, you can see that this place looks like it has definitely seen better days after hearing that it had been knocked down by the people who were leaving. So it's a Looking ahead, you see a great thick wooden door reinforced with corroded metal bands hangs limply on one great hinge. The other door is splintered and hold, but still in position, wedged and short closed from the inside.
We don't really know anything about this guardian avatar.
And these are the gates that lead into the courtyard behind, so you can actually go straight past that if you wish to.
We were given a rumour about the ruins. What was our rumour?
I don't know. We don't really know what this guardian avatar looks like or anything much about it.
No. We were just told that they might be out this way. I think it was just that there might be treasure out here and it might be perilous.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we were. That's right. We did hear that. I was just listening to hear everything, but I think we just hear play in the moat.
Does it look like... You said like the walls were kicked over.
Well, most of the walls have been knocked over. They're at about what should be sitting about 20 feet in height, down to about 5 to 10.
Does it look like lots of medium to large things pulling stuff, like knocking things over and stuff, or does it look like one big thing?
Hard to tell. Give me an engineering roll.
Engineering, not tracking?
Engineering, not tracking. As it's not recent, it is many years ago.
That's gonna stuff me. Intelligence?
Intelligence would probably be the best one.
I know nothing. 9.
Okay, so you're looking at it, you're thinking, you're deducing, and you're going, no.
No.
I would.
It fell over.
It's also not of the Feywild. I haven't been on this plane for over 200 years.
So what side of the gate doors are we on again?
You're just on the side of the drawbridge.
Yep.
So it's a little courtyard on the other side that people normally wait for the doors to open, and one of the doors is pushed in and the other one's wedged in place.
I will poke my head. Kind of. I'm going to look in to see what I can see.
You can see inside a courtyard with some stairs going up, and the courtyard has arrow slits all around it.
Does it appear empty? Can I see
It
here?
does appear empty.
I will nudge my way through.
Okay.
I'll follow Calprix.
Okay, you.
I won't call Prosker's a shit. Prosker's having some fun.
You make your way into the courtyard area. This place does look fairly large. It appears to be about 60 feet by 60 feet, with the stairwell going up in the northeast corner.
I'm now in fully adult Calprix mode and all my senses are attuned to whatever I can pick up as, is there danger, is there clues, can I sense...
Well, this would be a very easy place to stop someone from advancing if you were defending it.
And that's precisely what I'm trying to figure out is
Behind you appears to be a remains of guard tower for the main gate.
Yeah.
But looking at it, it seems to have collapsed in upon itself.
Is there dust everywhere? Are there tracks?
There is overgrowth everywhere, and it looks like nothing's really been through here in at least 10 years.
Calprix takes 186 hit points and walks in.
Morrigan whistles. Taryn appears beside her, and she says, "Explore."
Okay.
And Taryn is going to blink everywhere, like as fast as he can throughout the, rooms and stuff in the keep. And
For the first time, Calprix no longer sees this as a game, but is envious and wants to do this.
and yeah, he knows that if he finds something, to come back and indicate it to me.
And if anybody else can see what Calprix is thinking, they're probably thinking what a nightmare it would be if Alfred said this.
He doesn't really pay attention to treasure. He's just if there's any creatures.
I don't need to imagine that.
We don't need both Chocobo and Calgreens blinking around the place.
And Taran's gone from playful puppy to
I do have my orb,
Focus.
though, so I will send my orb out.
Can I call Chocobo? Does he actually come by blinking?
Well, you call, but you don't see him.
He camouflages.
Camoed.
Is he camoed to the?
He's
perception
on the
roll.
top tier dinosaur in Jurassic World 1.
Do you see him?
11 plus 4. My brain's broken.
15.
15.
It's not here.
Yeah, I think the minimum to see him is about 16. From what I can tell.
What's your best super
So,
perception?
you lost Choco.
I haven't actually put it
I
on.
think perception is 16.
It's-
So I think I
Have a
can
look
see
around and see if I can spot the crazy bird.
Give me a perception
Passive
roll.
perception is 8 plus proficiency plus wisdom.
I'll bring Proshka back. Enough playtime.
19.
Yeah, no, don't see it.
Hang on.
I'm not gonna bother.
Actually, if you try passive perception, it's 21.
I gotta check my
Well,
things
roll
because
the
I haven't actually
24, one
calculated
is
it.
20.
Okay, so Yodri does notice that there appears to be a statue that wasn't there earlier.
Okay, I give the thumbs up and we can.
The statue gives you a very slow blink.
Does the statue look like a bird?
Yes.
If I notice Jodri like looking at this statue, I kind of like narrow my eyes at it. Just be like, you cheeky little bird. I probably hear I probably hear a squawk after that.
You did give him a new rule, which means he's not allowed to hide from you.
Oh, well, I didn't expect the camera to work in here as well. I don't know how these things work. This is
Do
gonna
I see
drive
them
me
looking
mental.
around rather than just my passive perception?
Yeah, you see them looking at what appears to be a chocobo statue.
Okay, that is impressive.
Do I? So
Chocobo's
I see the
learned lots of
chocobo
tricks.
statue. Okay.
It's rather obvious when people point it out, but it just sort of blended when everyone looked.
Does my
Does the
orb-
smell of chocobo change?
Does not change, no.
Okay.
Okay, so we now need to teach Chocobo sound like a predator.
No.
Chocobo does
No.
sound like a predator.
We don't want to teach him to sound like a predator.
He is a predator.
He is a predator.
He is a predator.
We don't want him to make sounds. He's an ambush predator. But, like, I'm not saying this out loud, but...
Well, I'm sure if you start making clicking sounds when you don't know where he is.
Predator, the 1980s, 90s movie
Yes.
Alien Predator? Oh, okay.
I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty sure I do have, like, a signal that he can give me for, like, quiet location. I just need to work out how to get him to do that when he blinks and camouflages himself now. Oh, this is going to take way more training.
I was going to say your downtime is just being used up by Chocobo time now.
Oh, yeah.
And
Like the whole
Artemis is
language
gonna-
learning is just being shoved aside. It's just like
Artemis is going to go into a massive depression. because
Before we
he's gonna
dive too
get,
much into this, Kate,
own
can
and
you wrap it up,
neglect.
please?
Yeah, we can wrap it up. Okay, so yes,
Yeah.
as your discovered chocobo will have the credits start to roll with a nice happy clicking sound coming from him.
click, 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 click.
Before end of game, Calgreens wants to do a legend lore on the Wild Hunt at some point.
Okay, you could do that of the night.
Yeah.
Okay, so go in.